Hello, one and all. Welcome to V8's online for the Australian Knoxville Nationals at, of course, the Knoxville Raceway. Where else would you have them at? It's hosted by Race on Oz Events, brought to you by Down Under Graphics. And I tell you what, this is going to be I think bonkers. I think I can safely say bonkers night of racing because that is essentially what the 410 sprint car is, which is the car they're going to be using. And it should be an absolute cracker. We've got some very, very talented steerers at the wheel tonight, and it should be an absolutely just manic and super entertaining night of racing. So it's certainly something to look forward to. Mr. Coriot, who joins me in commentary. How you going?
Oh, I'm prepared. I have the air conditioner on. It's been hot here today, and I'm ready to have what is going to be 2 hours of crazy bonkers dirt racing.
I think that should be a new phrase that we should make mainstream. So that's the new goal for me, is make that a mainstream phrase. But on cameras and directing the show as per usual is Mr. Jay Candy, doing his awesome job behind the scenes here. We'll have me and Corey giving you the voiceovers and the lay of the land of each race and the goings-ons throughout this one. So yeah, the drivers at the moment just getting into the session and getting themselves sorted. The format is we have a qualifying to start, time trial quali, to sort the grids for each heat. The heats have been set in terms of the grids, and they're looking really interesting. I have to say there should be some really fascinating lineups, because I think we have a few guys here who are they're more dirt specialists than some of the others here. Some of the others are probably more known for maybe road racing events and that kind of thing. So it's a really interesting mix. And I don't know you, Corey, but I'm really fascinated to see, how that difference goes and where everyone ends up, because we could have a real mix from where we're used to seeing people. We've got people here you'd see, say in the V8, especially, a few of them really jump to mind, who are just dominant in the V8. They maybe won't be so much here in a dirt oval set.
Yeah, well, especially we've got people like Madison Down and Jared Gilsell here tonight, so we're gonna see how they fare with these 410 sprint cars around Knoxville. And what I'm hearing around the house here is that it's going to be a very slick track when it comes to the A-Main. So if those boys do make it, they're going to have a hard time controlling those cars in the A-Main.
Yeah, indeed, and that's a nice little segue there. Thanks for the actual segue, but it's a nice little segue just sort of mentioning about that with dirt racing, where it's almost worse having the track super gripped up, unlike in road racing where you want it really gripped up for the maximum grippage, as I'm going to call it, throughout the race, and just getting maximum pace out of cars. I know for me anyway, when I've been gripping enduros, there's nothing better than when you don't start the race and you get in the car and the track is just lovely and gripped up, and it's just the best feeling in the world. But dirt racing, not so much. When it's grippier, the track's slicker. It's actually worse to drive on. When it gets slippery, it gets really dicey trying to keep the cars on the straight and narrow. The grip is just there. They can wheel spins even more pronounced just in pure optimal settings. It's bonkers in 410. So, as you mentioned, it's going to be really interesting, because by the end of the night, we'll have a really gripped up track. It'll be very slick, and it will certainly really test who's got precision. Because these 410s, you have to be so precise with the throttle and the steering and the maximum outputs. It's just so much power, and they weigh nothing. That's all three wheels. So it really makes for a fascinating combos. We've got our first driver on track, Craig Dunn, going around now to do his laps in this time trial. As we watch here, see how he's going to go into the first corner, taking the low line straight up. And I think early on there'll be a lot of that, as the track's not got that slick look on it just yet, so you can use that low line. It is quite quick. Once it grips up, though, we'll see they'll keep slowly getting higher to try and get off that slick side of the track. First lap for him, 15.2. We'll see if he can improve as he goes around. Looking pretty smooth, I have to say, as well. Looking quite comfortable there. A little bit of wheel work, but nothing too strenuous. Not as bonkers as I was having to do early on, because I was having a little go around the track in the 410. Second lap there was a 15.269. Not an improvement. So his first proper lap was his quickest, 15.24. So that's his time. And that lovely green machine. I do like that paint. Actually, we have a lot of really good paints as well on display here of the various different teams. Next up, Carl Hoffmans. He comes around now in the SRL machine, setting not his first lap yet. About to start his first lap, though, I believe this time around. Coming through looking very, very nice again. looking like he's a little more aggressive in the turn-in. I don't know about that's just me, but looking a little bit more aggressive on the entry of the corner. Maybe washing off a little more speed, and that looks to be the case. Slower on his first lap by about half a tenth on Craig. Popping out now of his last run. And still looking very smooth. Oh, no, was. And I think that's it. That's it. Okay, so he's done a 15.3 is his time, which is slower than Craig. So we now wait for the next car to come out on track. Good start to the race. It's a good start to the night, I'd say there, Corey.
Yeah, and now we've got our third car out on track, a ERT car. So you can see the amount of teams that are here tonight. And it's Tom Callaghan. So he's got a time of 15.24 to be up original pole. Taking the high line out of 4 start off his time trial. You can see there as well. They're all the first runners will be taking that low line, but that line's going to be starting to go up the track as the night goes on, and also through qualifying there. Comes out of turn 4. First up a 15.1, so that set him off good. Now he's just got to do another lap. Nice and tight through 1 and 2 there, nearly hitting that dirt berm on the inside. 3 and 4, a bit wide out of 4 there, and down the front straight across the line. Slower on his second lap. So now we have our 4th driver out on track.
Indeed, and I'm just trying to find who that will be. It will be Bob King, yeah, going out now, the number 51 machine. We'll see what he can do. That last runner has been the quickest. Tom going quicker by a 10th on the next competitor, so a nice start to his night. He'll be happy with that one. As Bob starts his first lap, once again going the low line, which we will see as we said in this early laps of the night. But as it keeps wearing on, it'll keep creeping up the track, and will just be really interesting to see how the drivers handle that slicking track as it gets slicker and slicker, and the grip just gets less and less. 15 flat for Bob first up. They just keep getting quicker as we go through this time trial qualifying. We'll see if Bob can improve on this second lap. Again, really smooth inputs there. All the drivers at the moment looking quite comfortable, though again, track probably in its optimum state in terms of the grip over the whole surface, and I think he went quicker again. He did in that second lap. Wow, very, very close times on both laps there from Bob. He goes fastest on a 15.058.
Now our 5th driver out on track here is Josh Harmon, one of the TTL cars here tonight. Now sets off out of turn 2. Setting up his 2 laps of the time trial. Out of 4 he comes, and here we go. So just tap the berm there on the inside. You got to watch that during the night as well. Through 3 and 4 again. Down the front straight. What will his first time be? 15.4. He's got to do better. But yeah, he's riding that inside berm. It's not doing him well. It's sliding him up the track. Has he learned his lesson here? Yes, he has, but I don't know if it might be too late. His second time will be a 15.44, which will put him sadly dead last on the list.
Indeed, and that just shows one of the crucial things with just this track especially, because there's that massive sort of berm there on the inside. You've got to be really careful about going too far down. But we have the first of our TTR runners, Emily Jones. We've seen doing very well in the V8 Supercars and V8 Scops, having a go tonight in the Nationals. Let's see how she goes through the first corner. Again, good line there, not going too far to the inside. As we said, going to have to watch that, especially in these early laps, but the low line will be the preferred line. Going through the last corner now, where's that going to put it? It looked like a pretty tidy lap, and it's a 15.4, so tidy but not too quick. We'll need to just up the pace a bit here if she wants to go towards the top of the leaderboard, but certainly looking quite smooth, which is always good. I think you prefer to be smooth and maybe a little slower than erratic and making mistakes, but goes second time is a slight improvement, but only enough for a 15.370, puts her 5th out of the 6 runners so far.
Now, what would be our 7th car out on track is Michael Milhouse, the 022 machine. At the moment, he's got to beat a 15 flat. That was really fast there by Bob. Here we go, out of 4 down to the front straight. Into turn 1. Oh, very high in the middle, so I'm thinking that line hasn't progressed that high up yet. Through 3 and 4 we go, and he's on the middle of the track. Out of turn 4, 15.8. Yep, so he's going to be doing that tactic where you go high first lap and you go low the second lap. I don't know if it works on dirt, but again, middle through 3 and 4. Now to turn 4, will it be fast? 15.6 will sadly put him at the bottom of the heat out of 7 drivers.
Indeed, just looked like he's not quite got the pace there. As you said, the lines are a little bit interesting from him. I don't know if they're quite the right lines in this circumstance. He looks like he's still going too, so I don't know if he's messaged these. Got to stop for now. Looks like he's backing off now though, as Ryan E.B. Harris is the next out on track. Another one of the TTR runners, or TTL runners, sorry, as he now goes around to start his first lap. Number 12 car, a lot of very, very good-looking sprint cars, I have to say as well. Some very, very good-looking cars out there tonight. Really putting on a great show on track. He comes through now, last corner, back to that low line once again. As we said, it's not quite got to the stage where we'll be working up yet, but we will see that sheen. And when you start seeing that sheen, that's when you know the line's going to start moving up. He has a 15.347 on his first run. Good, solid starting lap. Let's see if he can find any more time here on the second one, using all that inside line, really nailing the line quite well. Is it going to translate to a good time? It is 15.170, puts in P3 out of the 8 cars who have gone so far.
We've got a bit of confusion here at pit lane who's going next. Oh, there we go. Daniel Gow in the number 22 Trackstar Race on Oz entry. Slowly making his way out the pits. And plants it full throttle straight out as well, so he's going to try and set himself up for the best 2 laps he'll ever do. Through turn 1 he will come. Look at that, very close to the inside berm there. Got to make the most of this track here during qualifying with how much rubber has not been laid down. First lap, 15 flat, puts him straight to the top. Not even 100ths off Bob there. So second lap, will it go faster through 3 and 4? He comes right on the edge here on the inside. Very tight line out of there, and it goes a 15.08. So top of the heat by just over 1,000th of a second.
Awesome, awesome stuff there from Daniel. We've got another of the Trackstars machines, Lewis Hewitt, out next as he is in the 666 machine. See how that number fares for him tonight. But as he comes out of the final corner, start his first lap. Let's see how he goes yet again. Low line it is, as will be the case until that sheen starts to come in, and I'm sure you'll see it. When you see it, you'll know it's not exactly hard to spot once that sheen starts to come across the track where the grip's been laid down or where the dirt's been sort of set aside by the cars. Comes through 15.187, a good solid lap there from Lewis, puts him pretty much mid-pack at the moment out of all the cars to have run. Again, lines, very clean as he just about touched the wall down the back straight, really using all of the track and some. Comes out of the last corner. Will it be an improvement? It will just. Puts him up 2 more spots to 15.139. Puts him third now, as we've now had 10 cars that have run in this qualifying session.
And next out on track is Lachlan Smith in the 911 entry. See that number phenomenous with the Porsche brand, but we're not doing any tarmac racing today. We're dirt in it. Nice and very dirty racing as he comes to the start-finish line to start off his first time trial lap. Very hard on the inside berm there. That won't help his chances for a good first lap. He's only got to do 1 more lap, and it better be good. 3 and 4, better than what it was through 1 and 2. Here we go, starting his second lap now. Didn't hit that inside berm this time. That's good. Out into 3 and 4. Sorry. See a lot of wheel work there. Then out of 4, across the start-finish line will be a 15.2. Puts him 7th place. Not really too bad for what was not really good looking lap set.
Yeah, well, you can see as well, I don't know if you can see it on the stream as Jock Goodyear comes out to do his laps. You can see that bottom line is starting to get that clean look to it that you start to know when, you start to see as the dirt gets moved aside, it's starting to get that little bit of a clean look to it. So already it's starting to have that sheen coming on, and we haven't even got through qualifying yet, but Jock going through now, took the high line to get the run out of 4, then down low as per usual through 1 and 2. Again, looking pretty clean in the number 7 machine. Nice solid lines, wheel work not too hard. 15.235 for his first lap, puts him bang on midfield. The guys to have run so far, got one, or out of the drivers to have run so far. So we come through turn 3 and 4 again, looking very solid, very clean, real work, not too manic there, so I would expect to be a good lap, and it is 15.235 187. Doesn't put him up a spot, but does get him a little bit closer to that front 5 cars at the top end of the field.
Next car out on track, as you can see, is the green, black, and white machine, number 3 of Josh Micklemore. And again, you can see there through 3 and 4 where his car was planted just there. You can see a line starting to form. Don't really want to be seeing that just how far they're into qualifying at the moment, as he starts now halfway through his first time trial lap. Through 3 and 4 he goes. Very much better wheel work there than what I've seen so far. First time of 15.3 puts him top 10, but he's still got one more lap to do, and we're not even halfway through qualifying yet, so all you got to do is have a nice clean 2 laps that are fast, and hopefully you're up at the top half of that field through the last corner. 15.337 does improve on his first lap, but not by much.
Indeed, as we said, seeing the track evolution coming in already. As I said, we haven't even really got through halfway, have we? We're maybe, not even halfway through qualifying yet. And we're already seeing that track evolution coming in, which shows sort of what we'll see tonight. It's going to be really interesting to see who can adjust to the changing track conditions the best over this night of racing. Adam Stanton is now out doing his laps in the 078 machine, coming through turn 3 and 4, looking pretty solid once again. Nice and smooth, as most of the drivers have, all doing very well in these 410 monsters. A 15.7 though puts him at the bottom at the moment. He's going to have to find a fair bit of time if he wants to jump up the standings. Got to pretty much find a whole 10th if he wants to jump Michael, and get out of that last place spot out of all the guys to run, or other drivers to run so far, and doesn't improve in the second lap. So 15.726 puts him at the back of the field at the moment, but we do still have a lot of the field to run here.
Yep, and now we have Erin Kelly coming out on track. Having a little bit of internet problems here, but hopefully he can pull out 2 good laps in this time trial. Comes out of turn 4 onto the start-finish straight. Starts his first lap through 1 and 2, a little bit higher than what anybody else has done so far. Down the back straight into 3 and 4. Oh, a little bit, could have been a bit tighter, but down the front straight. First lap, 15.4. Puts him in the bottom half of the field so far. Now through 1 and 2 again for his second lap. 3 and 4, got to be... Oh, he's washed it out a little bit out of 4. And second lap, a 15.380 puts him 12th so far. 100th off Emily Jones in 11th spot.
Indeed, as we wait for our next driver, it's another of the TTR gang, the Trans-Tasman Racing Team. It's Kurt Stenberg, known as, we've seen him in very, very handy at the wheel of the supercar. We'll see how he goes in the 410 here around Knoxville. Comes over the line to start his first lap, turn 1. Again, nice and low, not quite as low as some others have done though, but the lines can, again, depending on what the track's doing, the evolution, it can be better to be that higher up line as that low line starts to wear in and that sheen comes in, the grip is lost as he comes across the line. 15.5 for his first time. Going to need to find a bit more time there if he wants to get in amongst the midfield. Looking for a 15 sort of 2.3 if he wants to get into that nice battle there in the midfield. Coming out of turn 4, or nearly into the wall, pushing the limits of the car, and he does improve by nearly a 10th, but it's only enough to put him 13th out of the drivers to have gone so far with a 15.419. And we now have 16 cars to have completed their laps.
And now we've got car number 17 to complete his lap out on track. Tim Harris in the 48 TTL machine. Comes out of turn 4 to start off his 2 laps. Through 1 and 2 he goes. Very close to the inside berm there. Just about touching it with the inside left wheel. Now through 3 and 4. Very close to that inside berm as well. He was in 1 and 2. Or 15.1. Tied with Ryan Harris at the moment. But he's got another lap to try and untie himself. Through 3 and 4, he comes a little bit up on the track than what it was last lap. Across the line, a 15.134 puts him 3rd at the moment. List.
TTL really taking the fight to TTR. They've turned up in force here tonight to try and take the fight to their arch rivals in the V8 Scops, and working well so far as they're sitting pretty with the car in the top 3. Jordan Charge is next out on track with the number 60 machine for CNG Sim Racing. Very, very pretty looking car there indeed. Coming through turn 1, and he has hit the berm again. Another one of the guys who just got a little bit too far down the track, and that's going to cost him a little bit of time and a little bit of rhythm as well as he comes through turn 3 and 4. Much cleaner run through the second half of the track. Times are 15.457. Puts him towards the back of the field, just showing how close it is. About 3 or 4 tenths covering the top 15, showing how close this field is as he comes through turn 3 and 4 to finish his second and final lap. Is it going to be an improvement? It is, quite substantially too. 15.921 puts him P10 in the field. 18 cars have gone so far as we now get into the latter half of this field.
Yes, car number 19 and the 91 machine is Dylan Charmin. Another TTL entry. That's the 4th TTL entry I think we've seen so far tonight. Very high line to start off his lap. Or his 2 laps, I mean. Down the front straight into turn 1 he comes. How close will we get to the inside berm? Not as close as anybody else. Or a lot of the fast guys have been running, but could do well in 3 and 4. Oh, he's doing alright. Out of turn 4. First lap will be a 15.1. Puts him 6 at the moment, but can he go faster? 1 and 2, a bit higher than what he was last lap. 3 and 4, very low, running the same line he did lap before, washing up a little bit out of 4, don't really want that, just about to touch the wall. A 15.2 for his second lap, but he'll be 6th place out of the cars qualified at the moment.
Yeah, indeed, just got a little bit high in that second lap. I think as well, part of the sort of thing with this and with all racing, but especially with this kind of racing, is resisting that urge to look at the timing after that first lap. I think you got to try and maybe not look and just keep going and not get distracted by whatever time you set in the first run, because that can spoil a second lap, which is something you got to be aware of. But Dean Thrower, number 44 machine, out there on track now doing his first run. Again, another one from TTR running the Momo livery here tonight. Again, very, very pretty indeed. As he comes over the line, 15.346. Good first lap there. Solid banker puts him pretty much bang in midfield, or lower half of the midfield. So he comes through turn 3 and 4 now. Ooh, really throwing it in there into turn 3 and 4. Probably washed off maybe a little more speed than he would have liked, although it is still an improvement. 15.252 puts him bang on midfield. 10th out of the 20 that have gone so far. And this is really shaping up to be a really interesting night of racing tonight, because it is looking like a really close field here at Knoxville.
Yeah, TTR could be at the back of the pack, while TTL relishing another win is the number 96, Darren Parmenter, if I can get names right. He's going to come out of 4 to start off his 2 laps. Through turn 1 he goes to the inside, not getting as close to the inside berm. Washing a lot of speed off out of 2 and just about touching, I think he did touch that inside berm through 3, wash it up through 4. Lap 1 of 15.4, but can he do better? Turn 1 and 2, much cleaner, washing off speed through 2. 3 and 4 could be much cleaner. Yes, they will be. Turn 4 also not as wide as he was last lap, and that'll be a 15.40. Puts him 17th out of 21 drivers so far.
Yeah, indeed, good solid runs there from Darren. Next up, we have Cameron Holler, another of the ERT crew, heading out there now to do his runs. Good to see the ERT livery or scheme that they usually run has actually translated really well over to the sprint car as well. Looks very nice indeed, although I'm going to be saying that nearly all night, so just as an FYI, I'm probably going to be saying there's a lot of pretty 410s out there quite often tonight, so you've been warned. But either way, Cameron going around now to do his first lap, turn 1 and 2. Again, very solid looking run so far. Again, that low line still favoured right now. You can see the track changing through turns 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Comes across a nice lap to start, 15.231, puts him 9th at the moment in this field. Coming through, again, lines are looking very nice, very smooth inputs, nothing... not much any erratic movements from what I can see from Cameron. Comes across line and improves again. 15.160 puts him 7th out of 22 cars, and right in that fight there for almost the podium. 15.134, Tim Harrison 3rd, and you go down to 9th is a 15.187. So in very, very close in that battle for the podium at the moment.
And now we have what is one of the fastest dirt drivers we have so far. Joel Berkeley starts off his 2 laps of time trial in the number 9 TTL machine. Down the back straight into 3 and 4 he comes, very clean. Off the throttle a little bit through 3. Didn't really want that, I'd be guessing. First lap is a 15.4. Can he go faster on the inside berm again through 1? This won't really be a good time trial from him. Very high down the back straight, down to 3 and 4. Oh, very close. I don't know if he got away with that. Across the line, a 15.35 will put him not really where he wants to be at the moment.
Ooh, yeah, and you can see brings the car to a pretty sudden halt there, probably in a bit of frustration in his run there. So we have to watching Joel there. He's made it a bit difficult for himself. He's going to be probably a little lower in the field or in the grids for the heat that he's in than he probably wants to be. But he has time throughout the heats and throughout the night of racing to possibly get himself into the A main if he can just play his cars right. But either way, we've got John Schultz out there now, the number 78 machine, coming through the final corner now of his first run or first lap. Let's see how it is. Looked pretty good from my eye, and yep, not bad. 15.355 puts him bang on with Joel for the moment. Exactly the same time as he comes through now to do his second lap. We'll be hoping to improve. Probably try and get a 15.2. Pretty much put him bang in the midfield and put him right in the mix with the rest of the drivers who have run so far, but doesn't improve. 15.357. 0.002 of a second slower than his first lap. So the consistency certainly there for Joel, which it's always a good sign heading to the races.
Now we've got the 29 machine, another TTL machine of Jake Maloney sets out for his 2 laps of a time trial. Comes out of turn 4, down the front straight to start off his first lap. Turn 1 and 2, very clean. Getting as close as you want to that inside berm. 3 and 4, will it be the same thing? Yes. Had to swing out the back end there a little bit too much, I'm guessing. Now the first lap will be a 15.2, puts him 12th. Yeah, he's only got another lap to improve. Out of 2, now to 3 and 4. Very clean entry, very clean exit. Will it be? Yes. Tight line out of there as well. A 15.12 puts him 3rd at the moment.
Gee, Jake Maloney really putting the fight up there to TTR, really saying if you're going to have to really step up here if you want to take the fight to us. Really good stuff from Jake. And out now is Jake Burton. Speak of TTR, just going to try and get them up the leaderboard. Number 35 machine. Again, another driver that we've seen and we know of in the V8 Scops primarily. A very, very quick driver in the V8s, and obviously is paving his way through real-world racing as well, through the Aussie Drive search, and looking very solid there and getting in the Toyota Series, I believe, and heading on that way. But here in his first lap tonight, 15.47. For Jake, you'll need to really up the ante here if he wants to take the fight to the guys repping for TTL at the moment at the top of the leaderboard. TTL really have brought a lineup tonight. They're very, very determined, I think, to beat TTR here, and Jake improves to a 15.315. Does put him pretty much in the midfield there in that nice little battle in the 15.2s and 3s. So again, maybe not as high as he'd be perhaps looking for, but puts him in a good spot. So hopefully, for his sake, a nice clean heating.
Now we have the number 88 machine. You'd have to realise that name is popular. Brendon, 6th place Hobson comes out on the track to do his 2 laps of time trial. Through 1 and 2, very high. I think I might have jinxed his lap here. Down to 3 and 4. Very high through 3 and 4 actually. Didn't really want to be that high, I'm guessing. Down the front straight. Finished his first lap of 15.6. Well, we can do better this second lap. Turn 2, very close to the inside berm. Gets a beautiful run out of turn 2. 3 and 4, a little bit high. Or down the front straight. 15.4. Puts him 25th. Not really 6th place, but hey, who cares?
There is a 6 in there though, 446. So he still can't escape the 6 in my mind.
Okay,
so,
yeah.
Sorry, Brenton. Yeah. So either way, that was him. As Jay there says, what a meme that is indeed. We'll be repping that one tonight, I think. But either way, Madison down now at the FTTR. Another very, very well-known face in the V8 supercar landscape. Let's see how he goes tonight. The number 77 TTR machine going through turn 1 and 2 again. Looking very clean so far. Not too erratically throwing the car around, trying to keep the momentum going in his laps. First lap is a 15.384. Good solid starter lap for Madison. Let's see if he can improve on this second lap. Again, if he can get about a 15.2 or again to the 0.1s, he'd have a chance of nipping into the top 10 here in this time trial, which would be a great start for him of his night of racing. And what does he do? He goes a 15.348. Not much of an improvement, but does jump him from 22nd to 18th. So again, puts him thereabouts to hopefully be in a good position for the heats, and only a few, well, at 0.03 pretty much off his teammate Jake Burt.
Now we're getting down to the nitty-gritty of the time trial here. Brendon Schultz in the number 93 machine comes out to do his 2 laps of time trial. Down the front straight into turn 1 and turn 2 as well. A little bit high off the inside berm, but through 3 and 4 he will come. He's on that line. You don't really want to be on that line, but we'll see what his first lap is. 15.2 puts him pretty high up in the order at the moment. Now he's got another lap to go better. Out of 2 he will come, a little bit low on the back straight, through 3 and 4. The same line he did the first lap, but will it be faster? Across the line, 15.26 puts him 13th.
A good solid run there from Brendon. He'll be happy with that one. Again, puts him just in the higher part of the midfield, so in that little pack of 0.2 drivers there. Interesting to see that there's a 15.24 and then down to about a 15.291, and ahead of them is a jock there with a 15.187. So a bit of a gap between 10th and 11th, which is a bit interesting, getting that kind of split field that we get during some of these races. Tim Ryan, another one of the ERT boys, going out on track now to do his runs. Number 98 machine, doing his first lap now. Once again, looking pretty solid so far. That lines, we can see already the grip setting in on that low line, so I wouldn't be surprised in the heats we see them moving up. And oh, what a lap there, 15.093. Absolutely stamping the authority straight off the bat, and we're looking like the way it's gone, a lot of people have improved on their second lap. So can he get the fastest time here? Trump Daniel Gowan, knock him down. He nearly can, 0.001 of a second off Daniel's time. So close, but not quite enough. And Daniel Gowan's going to hold on just by the literal skin of his teeth in that number 1 spot.
And now we have Cameron Dance, a fellow V8 Online commentator here. He's out on the track tonight getting dirty himself, the number 6 TTL car. Comes along through turn 1 and 2 for his first time trial lap. Very close to the inside berm, he is. Could he get pole position? We never know. Through 3 and 4 he will come. And out of turn 4, his first lap. Will it be fast? 15.3. Puts him mid-pack at the moment, but he's got another lap to go faster. Out of turn 2 he will come, now down to 3 and 4. Very, very good line there, but will it be faster? Will he go faster? 15.29.
Good
Puts
lap.
him 16th.
Right, again, right in that little gaggle of 0.2 cars there in the midfield. So good, solid stuff from Cameron. Probably representing us here at V8 Online as much as TTL, really, in my mind, anyway. But good running there from Cameron. Gets him right in the midfield. Next, out on track, we're in the last couple of drivers now. I have noticed as well, we are missing one Shane Van Gisbergen, who was in the running tonight, not appeared in the serve yet, but hopefully he'll be in soon, as Jared Filsell out on track now. The number 94 machine for TTR, again, just off winning the V8 Supercars last season, being crowned the champion the season that has gone. So I'll be hoping to continue on that form here tonight for the Nationals. And first lap, 15.406, puts him P27 for now. I'll be looking to improve on that and maybe get in amongst his teammates Jake and Madison there in the 15.3 region. Coming through the last corner, really riding up high. I may have just escaped the rule, but apparently lap counts, so not quite. It's a 15.392 for Jared, puts him 26th out of 32 cars gone tonight. He'll be hoping to improve on that position throughout the heats as he gives the nice little bump as he comes to a stop there.
And we have Wayne Pendulum out on track. I believe he's missed his time trial spot. Yes, he has. He comes through turn 1 and 2 now, the start of his very late time trial run. Through 3 and 4 he comes. He's a little bit higher than what everybody else has been doing. Through down the straight. 15.8 for his first lap. Puts him dead last at the moment. But he's got another lap to improve himself. Through turns 3 and 4. Got that high line up there, but will it be better? 15.6 puts him 32nd out of 33 cars to time trial for what is basically going to be a very good night of dirty racing.
Indeed, and 7/10 between the field. Wayne's still going around. Oh, he's actually improved again. He's done 15.5. So I don't know if Wayne's either been not told to stop or if he actually is allowed to have more laps, but he's still going. So I suppose, credit to Wayne there. 15.5 now is his fastest. He's still going, so I suppose he must just have more laps or something along those lines. Improves again to a 15.502. Does put him up to 31st, so gets him a spot there in the field. But again, 7/10 between the whole field. Very nice, close field, and I believe that may be nearly everybody. I thought Benjamin might still need to run, but he's not popping out. Oh, right, Benjamin Smith admin. Sorry for that. There we go. But yeah, I think we have at least everyone's in the server who's had done their laps. So we now have what will be sorted into our grid for the heats. So yeah, that was a very interesting session, Corey. Yeah, some very, very close times, and as I mentioned, I'm already seeing a little bit of a pattern with some little packs, those little sort of mini packs you get throughout the field. They're already forming just based on the time trial. But as we know, it's one thing to set a fast lap on your own. It's another thing entirely, especially in dirt oval racing, to race with other cars and keep good pace. So it's going to be interesting to see if we get any big movers here throughout the heats.
Yeah, and it's going to be interesting. You see that whole grid, it's separated by what you said before was 7/10 of a second. It's 33 cars. They've got to sort themselves out into the heats. They've got to do well in the heats to make it to the A main. We could see some slow guys make their way up the pack during the night. Maybe make it to the A main. Never know. Might get a top 10. That's all they've got to do at the moment. But that top half of the grid, it's going to be interesting watching them during the heats if they could make it or not. But one of the drivers, I thought, Joel Berkeley, I was expecting him to go a tiny bit better, maybe get down at the end, but
yeah,
he's got to work. He's got to work.
Yeah, well, I mean, 22nd out of the 33 times, so in the bottom end of the midfield there. So yeah, as you say, Joel, we know how quick he is. Past performances on dirt. So yeah, it's going to be one to watch, I think. We might have to keep an eye on him throughout the night. Again, as I mentioned, might be... there we go. So Heat 1 is on the screen, the list for who will be having run in it. So I'll run that for you now. So Wayne Pengley, Bob King, Jake Burton, Brenton 6th place Hobson, Josh Micklemore, Jake Maloney, Dean Thrower, Tim Harris, Darren Pimenta, Tom Callaghan and Josh Harm are your runners in this first heat. They'll obviously be sorted in the order that they did their qualifying runs. So that would be Bob King, who will be. Yep. Oh, there's the grid. There you go. So yeah, so they all. Okay, so second heat they'll be reversing the order, so which will make it super interesting, to say the least. Should make for some. Yeah, very close racing. We'll just say that. Sounds like a good way to say it, I think. But yeah, we'll now await for the drivers to be cleared to start off the first heat. So it's going to be running interesting here tonight because the way the session's been formatted, I'm sure the admins have got a lot of little bits they're having to cover here with the way the sessions had to be set up. But I'm sure they'll do an awesome job in keeping everything running perfectly. For the Knoxville National start here. Again, brought to you by Down Under Graphics, hosted by Racing on Oz Events. And yeah, I'll tell you what, I'm super keen here, Corey. I'm really keen for this first heat and see how these guys go around. What is a new track as well. You can remember Knoxville, of course, just released for iRacing the last couple of weeks. So it's a brand new track in the sim. The 410s, as we know, absolutely bonkers cars. Lots of very, very talented drivers in the field. I mean, it's a great combo to really produce an awesome night of racing tonight.
Yeah, it's what is a half mile dirt track, and as we all know, half mile tarmac oval tracks like Bristol and Martinsville usually produce a lot of good racing. But when a half mile track sees heat racing, combine that with dirt, combine that with what is cars that have better power to weight ratio than a Formula One car has. Wheel spinning on a track like this, it's got to be the best racing you'll see all week, maybe all year. So, see now the Heat 1 drivers are going to the exit of the pits, just about to be gridded up and roll off for their what'll be the first heat of the night.
Indeed, should be, and as I'll just get the There we go. The sand back on for the admin. So they're just starting to trying to sort the grid now, as I mentioned, because the way the sessions had to be done. There's going to be a lot of little legwork here for the admins to keep an eye on, as we'll have 8-lap heats here tonight. Starting with this one here, I can already see drivers spinning up the rear wheels there, trying to get some heat into them. But we have our grid ready to go for the first race. As just trying to sort the grid now. I think Bob King is nearly in position. I think they're just trying to get everyone sorted. And here we go. So some great fun for the admins now. So we're just waiting for the grid to be set here for race 1 here tonight of what should be, as we mentioned, an absolutely fascinating night racing. It's going to be a real expedition, really, for everybody, because as I mentioned, it's a new track. No one's really raced around here. We don't know the form guide. We don't really know the intricacies of the track yet, how exactly it's going to work even. Just it's a real testing night of racing for all the drivers here tonight as they just try to get used to the track and how it works, let alone, you know, just racing on dirt, which in the oval sense, especially in 410s, is a lot of challenge to it. I struggle enough just keeping the car going the right way on my own, let alone with, you know, other cars around me. So I can imagine the intensity this is going to be for all the guys out on track here tonight. So I think they're just finalising the grid now. But who are we going to be looking out for here, Corey, in this first heat?
It'll be the TTL and the TTR guys if you want to be like that, but it'd have to be the 6th place man, Brendon Schultz, I have to say, because he's all right on dirt. He can get 6th places. He's starting from 4th place at the moment, so hopefully he breaks his 6th place curse and win a heat and possibly make it through to the A main, as where some guys are. I think we're just waiting to go. There we go. Grid's starting to roll now.
Yeah, I think we're just, as I mentioned, the admin's just having to sort how the grid's lined up, make sure it's in the right order. But I believe we should be all set to go now, as we'll have Wayne Peggerly and Bob King on the front row. Then we have Jake Burton, Brenton Hobson, Jake Maloney, Josh Mickelmore, Tim Harris, Dean Thrower, and Darren Parmiter, Josh Harm, and Tom Galligan are your lineup for this first race. Should be, as we said, an absolute cracker. 8 laps here for the heats, and then we have the top 8 having 6-lap dash after this. B main, which will be the bottom 20, is a 15-lapper with the top 6 going through to the A main, and of course the big finale, the A main final, will be a 35-lap race with all the top qualifiers from tonight's racing. So it should be an absolutely cracking finish to the race as we get ready to go green here. All the cars raring to go, and yeah, we'll see how this one goes. I'm just trying. I think Bob King will be the one who's in the box seat here. We saw in qualifying how quick he is, and he's on the front row. So if he can get a clean start, he really is probably his for the taking this race. Really, all he's got to do is get a clean start, clear Wayne as quick as he can, and he'll be in the box seat to possibly get a win in the books straight off the bat.
Yeah,
as they come out the final corner. Yep, ready to go.
Roll around the final corner there. Bob's got a little bit of nose in front, or a little bit of tapping behind.
Wow.
Bob's gone. We're all going here. 8-lap first heat is underway.
Wow.
Didn't really want to go as started like that as we did, but Bob King has stormed out in front. Pendulum in second, Hollow in third. See now all the different lines are starting to form up now.
Indeed, so they come through first the first lap. We've got Brendon Hobson trying to take Wayne for P2. They're all ganging up on Wayne here, all getting in line, ready to overtake Brendon Hobson on the high line. Goes around the outside. I think he's going to hold it there. The grip's starting to set in, and he's got it done. Great move from Hobbo to get the move done.
Behind Hobbo and Wayne, they've got the TTR car side by side with them. Behind there is the Race on Oscar and ERT car. They're both looking at matching a position there. 3 wide through turn 4.
And there's nearly contact. Jake nearly
squeeze him down at the bottom, Jake. Yeah.
Wow, yeah, that was really close from Jake, but he managed to get through in the end.
Wayne a little bit loose out of 2.
Yeah. Here we go, Dean Thrower up the inside. You're going to try and get the move done, knock him off the P4 into P5. Looks like he's going to get done, is he? He is, I believe. They're still going. Wayne, credit to him. He's putting up a fight here. He's not giving up. to these guys who, if we go by time trial, a little bit quicker than he is, but he's not giving up the fight. Oh, Dean goes up, pushes up the track big time into the wall as well, but gets the move done anyway. Talk about getting moves done in style. That's Dean up another spot.
Yeah, and we've still got, so it's basically a battle for third place now. Hobbo storming away between Thrower, Pendulum, Micklemore and Callaghan, with Burton just behind there, waiting for something to happen. Oh, they're getting very close here. Too wide up in front. Oh, a little bit of a tap. We're going to keep it together. Oh! Micklemore into the wall. Didn't collect anybody else, which is good. And now Callaghan and Pendulum still going for the third place. Ooh. And Callahan is around. You'll get it back going. We've all slowed down.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we're having some issues with the lineup of the grid at the moment. I think the admin's just discussing there. They're having some issues with getting the lineup sorted for the races. Sounds like some issues there, so they're having to just bring everyone to a halt for now and try and sort the orders. So it's just waiting on explanation here. There we go. So we're going to have Heat 1 rerun again with the issues that admin were having. So we're going to have another running of that heat. So just the admins having some having to try and keep things sorted here tonight. It's hard enough just keeping general racing in order, let alone having to keep admin parts in order as well with the way this is having to be run. But we'll rerun it again. They'll give the guys a chance to have another run, see if they can improve their positions, and we'll see if maybe Bob can not quite get the start he did in that first running, because that was I mean, I don't think I've seen such a good start off any sort of oval racing. That was just plant down, and he was just gone into another postcode essentially. So we'll see if that trick will work this time, because now they've had a heat to run it, they might be a little more aware of what Bob's going to do here in this rerun of Heat 1. So it'll be the same order we had just then, but a rerunning of the heats. So once again, we'll get a little debrief for about maybe 30 seconds, a minute, then we'll be back at it again.
Yeah, I think the reason why they're restarting is because I believe admin didn't call green, or Pendulum didn't know what was happening, so he still went anyways. But admin is still discussing, so we're going to have another run of Heat 1. It could be more exciting as it was the run they had before, as I think we're just missing Pendulum off the grid at the moment. He's just about going through pit lane now, just about to leave the pit, so we'll have him on pole and get Heat 1 warm-up lap going again, and then we'll take the green flag for a second run of Heat 1.
And he was throwing in Wayne there to pop out so he could get going again. Just coming out of pit lane now, so he'll be ready to run the heat once more. Same lineup as before. Admin's just letting the drivers know how the starting procedure will be run. So hopefully this time, as we mentioned, we won't have such a disparity off the line, as everyone will get a nice even run out of the corners. And as you mentioned, you can already see the lines forming on the track well through the corners, especially not so much down the straights, of course, because everyone spreads a bit more, but through the corners you can already see the lines, and you can actually see the sheen on the entry to a few of the corners already, and we've only not even done a heat yet technically. So I'm imagining that last race, Heat 1 of the main race, will be, I think we'll have a very slick track for the main race, so that will make things very difficult for the drivers as they go along. But we're getting ready to go once again, take 2 of Heat 1. As you mentioned, hopefully we'll have a bit of a closer start this time around, and hopefully Bob won't quite go off into the sunset as quickly as he did in that first running. But we come through the final corner now, getting ready to go, waiting for the call from race admins. And green, go. Oh no, and there's all sorts of carnage. Oh, Jake Burton's on his roof. I think, has he got going again? No, Jake Burton is beached. Oh, and there's a lot of carnage there, and everyone's slowed down. As it looks like the drivers just mentioning about that one. So yeah, unfortunately not quite run there. Well, I think another rerun potentially of that heat again. Just some issues with the
confused, not knowing what's happening. So they're gonna get take 3 of Heat 1 underway shortly.
Third time lucky to use the super niche, super overused saying. I think it works. It always works. It's the reason why it's a classic that we still use these days. But we're just waiting, as I said, the admins are just discussing or just sort of confirming how this will be run. Drivers will just get around again and get themselves in order, and we'll be ready to go once more for another take of Heat. Crucial with getting to the finals. You really want to try and get a good result, so either make it to A main straight or put yourself in a good position in the B main to get to that top 6 and confirm a spot in the A main through that avenue as well. So yeah, it should be a very interesting finals. I think I'm really keen for the A main because I'm very curious to see how the drivers are going to handle this track and how it grips up with the nature of dirt racing and just the 410s being crazy, basically crazy on wheels. I think.
Bonkers cars doing it on dirt, half mile. It's gonna produce some crazy racing. And I think we're just seeing in the stream chat there have been some slight communication issues between race control and the drivers. So, like you said before, hopefully third time is the charm.
That's how the saying goes. So hopefully it rings true here. I will say again though, very pretty grid as I mentioned before. Yeah, as you can see with the cars on track now, some very nice looking 410 sprint cars out there, all sorts of different colours on display. Very vibrant grid. And this is only the one heat, so you can imagine how it would be for the B heat, and the B main, and the A main. So yeah, that's awesome to see that we have such a diverse range of colours out on the grid at the moment. But we get ready now to run the heat again, heat number 3, as we will have Bob King and Wayne Pegley running us off once again as we wait now for the call to get ready to go here. And there's the cars crash again. Bob King and Wayne Pegley have come together off the line,
and they have collected a couple of the cars during that. So.
Oh, and they're back down again. Yeah, so that was quite something. Oh yeah, open to see. We'll probably have a Cupright Racing replay on screen, I would say. Not working. Okay, so we won't have the replay on screen, but I'll go back and have a look anyway. See if I can decipher what happened there. Still, just this. I think it's just a delay, possibly, with the announcement and just there not being a point that drivers can reference to go. I think that's sort of the problem at the moment the drivers are having with when to go. But I'll just have a look at the replay here and see what happened. I think it was just a delay on the front row, if anything. Both the guys at the front going, and actually, it was Bob King out of turn 4, just went on the gas there on the outside, got it loose, and went straight down to Wayne. That's what caused the ear crash there. A lot of very heavily damaged sprint cars out of that one. So, yeah, big shame there. But it looked like just one of those things, really. Bob just gained the power on a bit too much on the outside there, and the car just went on to him. And as we mentioned with the 410, it's such a crazy machine that, yeah, it's so easy to do that. You just, the slightest bit too much power, and you're gone. But I think this is actually a caution effectively, by the looks of it. The driver's running around in formation. So we do have cautions running here tonight, just obviously not being run by the game the way it's running, but there are still cautions as we get ready to go again, and we are green. So there we go. Brendan Hobson is leading them off. So Hobbo in the perfect position right now, the number 88 machine, to get the win here in Heat 1, but he's got some fierce competition. Jake Maloney, Tim Harris in the TTL machines right behind him as they go through turn 3 and 4. Hobbo holds for now, and actually the TTL boards are almost fighting each other, which is probably helping Hobbo out here as they go through turn 1, 2.
And you got behind them battling for third, the TTL car Burton and the ERT car Callaghan there. They're both fighting very hard, getting wheel to wheel nearly. Turn forward, it's a bit of a tap.
Oh, wow, Tom has nearly held that too. He has somehow. Oh, that right is not where it should be though. There we go, he's popped back out of the ground. But unfortunately that has collected a few other cars. Taryn Permits as one of them involved. I think Dean Thrall was involved again. Yeah, he was involved in the first incident off the start, and he's been involved again as an innocent bystander. Cannot get a break, Dean, in this first heat. The front end of that car, as you can see the engine block there in the car. That's how much front end damage he's got, so that would not be a pleasant car to drive at all. But we're under caution once again. Probably only going to be a couple laps to run, I would say, with the cautions, with 2 of them in this 8-lap race. So as I said, just shows that keeping these cars on the straight and narrow is hard enough, let alone trying to battle other cars and still not run into somebody. It's just such a challenge in these cars and in dirt racing in general, especially in something as powerful as the 410. It's so easy to have a little instance like this. But either way, Hobbo will lead us off again. I think we'll be green next time, will be indeed. So it'll be Hobbo from Tim Harris. That's Jake Maloney, Jake Burton, Josh Harm, who's been just quietly coming through here, been keeping his nose clean throughout all this, and he's found himself in the mid-pack there in 5th spot. So good drive from him so far from towards the back of the field. Josh Mickelmore, Wayne Peggley still running despite that first lap incident, and Dean Thrower runs out with runners at the moment. So not everyone's still in it. We've had a couple of retirements from incidents throughout this one, but we'll be ready to go once again. Brendon Hobson will lead us off for the green flag once more. And I think we'll probably only have 1 or 2 laps to go, I would say, in this one, as Hobbo has control of the field. When's he going to go? Now he goes, and a good jump from Hobson. He's got a nice run on Tim Harris already, and into turn 1 they go. As I said, you can see that sheen sticking in, and already that low, quite treacherous here for these cars. We've got a good battle further back between the 2 Jakes of the Burton and the Harm variety.
And behind them is Josh Mickelmore in the Race on Oz car there. Now they're all spaced out here. Ooh, getting very close to him.
Indeed, as they go through the last corner. And Hobson's still leading as they come through, with Tim Harris still in hot pursuit. Don't think he really has enough, though. It seems Hobson's just got the pace to hold on at the moment, but Harris and Maloney really not getting up. Josh Harm in there too. It's a TTL train trying to chase down Brendon Hobson here. Josh Harm's really had a good run, probably driver of the race so far. Falls it back to P4. I believe that is it. So Brendon Hobson takes the win in this heat. Going to be from Tim Harris and I believe Jake Maloney, and then Josh Harm coming home in P4 towards the back. Very, very good drive from him. And I believe then after him it was Josh Mickelmore in P5 and then Burton in P6. So there you go. First heat is done. And yeah, we've already seen a pretty feisty racing out there from the guys. Yeah, a few incidents in that one. But as I said, new track, 410s. You know, just this level of competition and this level of pace, you're always going to have some incidents like that. But good job from Hobson there to hold on to the win. But as I said, I think my driver will have to be Harm there. He came from pretty much near the back on the grid to be P4. So a really, really solid drive from Josh Harm there, showing how it's done to avoid the carnage and just keep your nose clean throughout these races.
Yeah, Pendulum was you had a lot of nose damage throughout the race, but kept going to get points. So I believe we only had, out of the 9 or 10 cars we had about 2 or 3 retire from that race. So after the amount of wrecking we had, I think that was a really good result from everyone. But I think we've got Heat 2 coming up shortly.
Indeed, and that will be, as we'll run through the grid for it now, it'll be Jock Goodyear in the number 7 machine, the 078 of Adam Stanton. Then we've got Joel Berkeley in the number 9, will be looking for retribution after his time trial run. Kurt Stenberg in number 47, then we've got the 911 car, Lachlan Smith, Lewis Hewitt, the 666 machine. See how that number fares for him tonight. Number 98 machine, Tim Ryan, 78, John Schultz, Emily Jones in the 68 machine, and Cameron Holler rounds out your field in the number 2 machine. Shane Van Gisbergen was rostered to run in this heat, but not here, unfortunately, tonight, so he will not be taken to the grid. But either way, have a very nice lineup here for this second heat, and I don't know, it's a tough one to call. I think if you go by quali pace, you're probably going to be looking at someone like, well, Tim Ryan, really. Obviously qualifying just second in the time trials, so you'd think he'll be one of the favourites to take this one, although I think he will be midfield by looks of it on the grid, so he'll have a bit of a task ahead of him to try and come through. Cameron Hall will probably be another one to watch, as well as Jock Goodyear as well will probably be one to watch. In fact, I'd probably put him maybe as the favourite if he's starting the front row there of a nice clean run, get a nice clean start, and he'll be looking good to possibly take it. But what are your thoughts on this one, Corey?
Well, my thoughts on this one. It's going to be a very mixed race. I could say what would be my favourite driver, but I've got no favourite. It's all a mixed grid. Anything can happen in dirt racing, so we'll see how this race goes. It'll be basically survival of the fittest, but we do have both of the TTR Rising Stars drivers in this race of Stenberg and Jones. So they're both starting on polar ends of the grid. So we'll see how that goes. We'll see how the race will shape out. Maybe have one or two more cars coming to the grid.
Yeah, I think we might be waiting on potentially somebody to pop in and line up as well to complete the grid. But either way, we'll be heading off pretty soon. And as I mentioned, I think I'll be jock for this one. He's on the front row there, qualified well, inside just outside the top 10, so pace is there. So I think he'll be on to watch, especially when you got Adam Stanton up there, who wasn't looking too quick in qualifying. He'll be in the spot to almost act as a roadblock, probably accidentally, but as a bit of a roadblock for Jock in this one. So I think they'll do one tour of the track, and then we'll be good to go in this second heat here tonight for the Knoxville Nationals. Once again, brought to you by Down Under Graphics, hosted by Race on Oz Events. Should be a cracker of a heat here for the second race of the evening, and hopefully now we've got a bit of everyone's sort of got an idea of how it's all going and how it's all being run here. We can have a nice clean start and have a good bit of racing, and yeah, let's see how we go. Good diversity of in the field in terms of teams, as you mentioned. Got a ERT there. I think we've got a Synergy Sim Racing car there as well, and obviously the TTR driving Rising Stars TTLs there as well. Got a nice varied grid in terms of the teams, and probably a little bit more vibrant, I think, than the last grid. A bit more variety of the colours. But either way, Jock will be leading them off the start. Be looking to get a nice clean getaway here and try and gallop away, probably, if anything, on this first lap. As I come through turn 4, getting ready to go. Jock goes, green flag racing, and look at that, he is gone.
And a much cleaner start, 3 wide in turn 1 already, but a much cleaner start than what it was for the first heat. We come out of turn 2 with nobody hitting anyone. They're already single file.
Oh,
the back of the grid there. Jones there just getting a little bit loose.
Yeah,
direction there.
Oh, close for third. Lachlan Smith just gets the move done. Oh, one of the SSR cars going down the inside. Oh, they're all backing up.
Checked up there we all wreck.
There it is.
Oh,
no. One of the ERT cars. That's Cameron Holler was just clipped in that. And there you go. So it should be a yellow flag. Although I think they're still going. There you go. Cameron Holler's sitting on the outside. There you go. They're all backing off now. Green caution called. As there you go. Well, that one, you saw that one coming. They're all checking up, and the moment they check up like that, especially in dirt oval racing, it generally only leads to crashes. So obviously, the room and the time to react is not as much as you would have in maybe some other forms of racing, and especially obviously being on dirt. The cars don't quite react too well to slowing down. They're designed to go fast in a circle on dirt, so they don't really like going slow. They don't like slowing down too quickly. So it's always been interesting when you're having to back off a lot to try and avoid those incidents. So yeah, it was looking like something that was going to happen. But either way, what that has now meant is Tim Ryan goes to 3rd. Lewis Hewitt is now 4th. Brendon Schultz is 5th. And we got Stenberg 6th. Emily Jones 7th. Stanton 8th. And Lachlan Smith is 9th. And I believe Cameron has pulled in to the pit. So it's his heat done. And that'll be a bit of a disappointment for him because he was looking pretty good to probably get a good result tonight if he kept it clean. He had the pace too. He just had to try and get through the field here in the second heat.
Yep, and I think they're not going to be starting. No, not yet. They're going to do one more lap under the caution. So they went further in heat 2 at the start than what they did in heat 1. I think they went a lap and a half maybe before they had their massive wreck. I think there was 5 wide there all of a sudden before they wrecked. So if it's going to be like this the whole night, it's going to be who's survival of the fittest. But
I think that's generally dirt oval racing in a way anyway. It's a lot of it is just about survival, especially the most powerful of the cars because they're so powerful and such beasts. It's just enough of a challenge trying to keep on the straight and narrow. But either way, Jock goes very early, almost at 3 more than 4, but a nice quick jump, and he's got again very nice jump from Jock, and he's got clear already of Joel Berkeley, who'll be looking to get a good result here, get that confidence going into the later heats and into the finals. Looking good here in second, but look at that, Tim Ryan coming at him through turn 3 and 4 for ERT. You've got Lewis Hewitt behind. Kurt Stenberg's got a nice little battle going on for John Schultz. That's for P5.
And it's now been separated as a pack of 4, maybe 3 now for that lead, but at the moment, Kurt Stenberg and John Schultz there battling for 5th place at the moment, with Jonah just trailing behind, just, waiting for something to happen. But I think we could be getting maybe next couple laps with the last lap, so let more chaos ensue.
Looking pretty good so far. Good to see the drivers are all into a nice rhythm here in the second hit. They're starting to get into the groove of the cars and into racing other cars around this Knoxville circuit, which is great to see. But Jock just holding on, but Berkeley's been hounding him all race. Tim Ryan there as well, filling the mirrors, or well, the non-existent mirrors of Joel Berkeley in these sprint cars. He's looking down the inside. Berkeley going really high through 1 and 2. Might be a bit early for that. And Ryan on the inside is contact. And Berkeley's into the wall. I think he's good to keep going, though. In fact, he's managed to somehow get a run anyway to have a go back at him into P2. Great little battle this for the second spot. A bit of biff and barge as he goes low, tries to do what Tim Ryan did to him. Oh, nearly contact again. But Joel just picks it up.
And behind him, the battle for 5th is really heated up. Stenberg, Schultz and Jones all closely batched together here. They're all getting very close to maybe a kamikaze move. Schultz on the inside, and that was it.
Yeah,
so,
indeed. Wow.
Interesting racing up into the finish line. So
I'll go back on the replay and try and decipher the finishing order. So it was Jock who held on for the win. A really solid drive from him there. Tim Ryan getting that second spot from Joel Berkeley there, and a pretty feisty little battle they were having at the end of that one. Joel getting third, still a good solid start to his night. Lewis Hewitt there, a bit of a lonesome race after that caution in P4. Good result from him regardless. And as you mentioned, that battle for P5, Stenberg just held on from Schultz, and then it was Emily Jones behind with Adam Stanton and Lachlan Smith rounding out your field of the second heat here tonight for the Knoxville Nationals. So a nice race, that one. Good to see a good bit of green flag running there, and see some good close racing. Joel and Tim were really going at it. I think Tim there just pushed up a bit more than maybe he was wanting to, and maybe accidentally sort of hip and shouldered Berkeley out of the way there. And I think Joel a little bit fast. He probably wanted to get back in there into turn 1 and 2, and nearly did the same thing that Tim had done the lap before, managed to pull it up and avoid contact. So credit there to those two for some very hard fought but generally clean racing there in that one.
Yeah, now we've got Heat 3 starting up, and we have Daniel Gow, the fastest qualifier, starting on pole with Ryan Harris, Jolly in charge, Dylan Charmin, Cam Dance, Jared Filsell, Carl Hoffman, Craig Dunn, Michael Milhouse, Erin Kelly, Brendon Schultz, and Madison Down for a very full grid for this third heat. And it's going to be an all-intense battle. It'll be SSR versus TTL versus TTR. It's basically a battle of the heavyweights at the moment.
Yeah, indeed. And I was just thinking, it's this is as you say, it is the biggest grid of the night so far. Just one more than Heat 1 in the lineup. But obviously B main, A main will have even on the grid, so it'll be a very packed track in the main final events, as it always is in the sprint cars, the way the format is with the heats and the finals. But Daniel Gow will lead us off here in this one. He's got Harris, as we said, for company behind. A few of the guys at the front there, all pretty quick in qualifying, so we'll be watching for how they go. I'm just trying to find, so they're all the guys towards the front were pretty speedy in the qualifying running, or at least sort of midfield or higher in the time trial. So hopefully we'll see a nice close battle at the front. I think Daniel will probably be the one to pick here, though, unless Ryan can find a little bit more pace here in the race. Although, to be fair, they weren't separated by too much, about 10th in the time trial. So it'll be on Ryan to get a little more pace here and try and take the fight to Daniel, and sort of put down that dominance that Daniel showed in the time trial. I say dominance, it was under a thousandth of a second pretty much, so he got the fastest time by. But we're ready to go here in heat number 3 as they come through turn 4. Looks like Daniel waiting a long time to go, unless they're going again. Are they going? Yeah, they're going again. Another run before we go green. So I think the drivers just sorting out how they're going to start this one while we're doing a bit of an extra lap here. But I think Daniel will be the one to watch. But it's in fact a lot of the guys. Yeah, there's a lot of pretty quick steerers in this field, so it should be a real nice close race this one.
Yeah, we're just coming around down the back straight now. We've got Madison Down starting at the back. I wouldn't be too surprised if he makes his way up through the grid, but him being a veteran V8 supercar driver, it could be it could do him well. It could give him some experience as we come through turn 4 to start heat number 3. We're going, and there he goes. Daniel Gow off to a beautiful start there. Clears the field, gets a bit high through 2.
Oh, further back, we've got some close racing at the back of the field, but looks like they got through okay. It's going to be Daniel Gow leading them away. Harris in file behind that. Charmin, Phil Cell trying to go around the outside of Jordan Charge. It looks like he's just about going to make it. He's still holding it in the high line. He does. There you go. And you can see Jordan getting stuck on the shine on the bottom line there. So already the high line being favoured throughout this race. Oh, Jordan nearly having contact with Cameron Dance trying to go around him on the outside, and that's made for an interesting little battle. He's going to try the middle line there on the shine, and you can see the lack of grip for Cameron. Just not quite able to get the move done. Look at this, Jared, another move into third.
Jared just going as hard as he can, but they're 3 wide at the back of the pack through 4. A little bit of tapping, they get through clean. They're still going as hard as they can. It's the most clean race we've seen all night. All in a conquer line on the outside out of 2.
Yeah, I think Jared Philcell just got balked a bit by Harris there. He's actually dropped back behind Charge again, and now Cameron Dance is coming at him for that battle, and I think he's just about not quite going to get done. Some really, really close battling in the midfield here as Cameron gets the slingshot, trying to go low into 4. I don't know if it's going to work with the shine on that low side. And there you go, Philcell just holds it up high and holds on to that P4 position. Some good battling further back with Hoffmans and Brendon Schultz as well as they go through turn 1 and 2.
Yep, and they've all sort of calmed down at the front, all conquer line on the high line, but Madison Down has made what is 1 position up from the starting grid, so the starting place. But he's about to get a second one here if they're all going to go as hard as they want. Out of turn 2 they'll come.
Yeah, Charge and Harris on the screen at the moment. That's for P3. Look at him, side by side out of 4. I think Harris has just held on. And it looks like no, but here comes Charge again down low. But once again, that shine, just no grip down low. And that really shows on the exit there as Harris is just able to power out and hold it high. And look at that Charge having to cover a bit from Phil Cell, nearly up high. Not quite able to get it done though. I believe we're nearly done. I think we are indeed. So Daniel Gow takes the win. He does a wheel stand down the back straight too. Great stuff there from Daniel. Pretty dominant performance really in that race. Dylan Charmin, top 2, bit of a lonesome race after that start there. He ends up P2. P3 was Ryan Harris, I believe. I'll just check that. So I'm just trying to get through the order here. It was Harris indeed. From Jordan Charge, Jared Philcell, Cameron Dance, Brendon Schultz, Carl Hoffmans, Craig Dunn, and I'm trying to find there who the last one is. Oh, it is Craig Dunn, sorry. The one before him was Hoffmans. Yeah, and I believe that is it. And it looks like, I don't know where Down went, but I'm guessing he must have retired. Oh, no, there he is. Oh, there he is. Okay, he might have blanked out on the line. But either way, yeah, good fun heat that one there, Corey. And we had a green flag run the whole time. So good to see some really nice, again, real nice close racing, but all clean there throughout that one. That was some awesome stuff in that heat.
Yeah, really, that heat was only the battle for second place because Gal was he had the fastest time out from the time trial and was gone. As you saw there, TTL, SSR battle for second. And I think we'll have our heat number 4 grid coming onto the track right now to grid themselves up.
Yeah, indeed. So we have the Heat 4 grid's going to be Josh Harm leading them off, as we saw in the last heat. Worked his way through the field through a bit of a chaos-filled first heat quite well. So I think I'll be watching him to maybe have a chance at winning this one. Tom Callaghan in the second spot. Didn't really get to show his stuff too much in that first heat because of the getting caught up in the early shenanigans. So interesting to see how he goes. If he can get a good run. Darren Permitter, another one who got caught in that heat 1 chaos. We'll see how he goes. Tim Harris in the 48 machine. Then we got Dean Thrower in the 44. Jake Maloney in the 29. Josh Mickelmore in the 3. Brenton 6th place. Hobson in the 88. He's going to kill us for that at the end of this broadcast. But anyway, Jake Burton in 35. Oh, on the 35 next. Then it's Bob King, number 51. One to watch with his pace, starting towards the back in Heat 4. So watch for him coming through as this goes on. And Wayne Pegley in the 151 Ramsay Field, of course, as I mentioned, reverse grid of the first running of this heat. So this is the same heat as Heat 1, but reverse grid. So giving the guys at the back in the first heat a chance to have a go at the front in this heat and see how they can go. Maybe in a bit of cleaner air, but definitely one to watch. I think Bob King will be one to watch, trying to come through, showing really, really good pace so far tonight. And as we saw in the first heat, I mean, Hobson held on quite nicely in the lead once it did calm down towards the end. So I'll be watching him to possibly come through and get another strong result in this fourth heat for the Knoxville Nationals, brought to you by Down Under Graphics, hosted by Race Alongs Events.
Yeah, and starting to roll off now. Yes, they are. So Hobson starting dead last, or actually, sorry, in the mid back of the field.
We're being really harsh on him tonight, aren't we?
Well, yeah, we're really being hard.
Tonight.
Yep, it's just bully on Hobson night, but hopefully he gets a win again. He's starting from 8th place. You never know, you could finish 6th, not break the curse, but
we just to be clear, as Jay's mentioning, I have accepted at this point that Brendon is just going to kill me at the end of this. I think
he's going to kill me before he kills you, because I have started it off. So
you did start the process.
Once when he's watching this, I'm sorry, and if he's going to. You never know. He might publicly shame me on his Discord from his YouTube channel.
I think the way to say it is that we may be being harsh to Brendon, but it means well. It means well,
yeah,
that's for sure. So there's the best way to look at it, I think. But either way, we're coming around now to start heat number 4 here tonight, the Knoxville Nationals, or Knoxville Nationals. Josh Harm leads them off, and once again, look at that start. Josh Harm is just absolutely gone off the line. A beautiful start. Oh, behind Tom Callaghan, trying to go around the outside of Darren Pena. Look, worked on. There's a crash, yeah.
And number 3, Micklemore's gone around. He'll keep going. No, they're not. They still reckon it's 3, and I kept it slowed down.
Yeah, there you go. They have, yeah. So caution has been called here to start the 4th heat. It seems this combo of drivers are just not able to keep it clean. Hey, replays are working, so we'll play a Cup Price Racing replay of that instant. I believe it all started with Permitter and Callaghan out of turn 2. They just got a bit loose and got into each other, slowed up the rest of the pack, and that meant that Tim Harris had to back up there. He had to back off Callaghan, and that put him into Dean. Oh, sorry, no, it was Strower who then had to back off. And that put him into Micklemore, and that kind of started that whole shebang. And yeah, and then Thrower's come back on the track and just absolutely drilled Pegley and Hobbo there as he came back on. So that's kind of how that one all kicked off. Thankfully, I don't think anyone got too major damage out of that one. I think everyone's managed to keep the cars relatively straight. So a little bit of biff and barge, a few little spins, but I don't think anyone's got any major damage there. So they have been able to keep going. No one's retired from this one. So we'll have a same field that we started with, but a bit of a different order. But it is still Josh Harm who will lead them off. We'll see if he can keep this run going of the leader getting such a great run. I think every race so far, the leader has got an absolutely perler of a run. We'll see if Josh can keep that going here.
Come out of turn 4 here. We'll see if Harm will jump it off or they'll go another lap. No, they'll go another lap.
Indeed. So it'll be Josh Harm to lead them off. And as I mentioned, I think he'll, well, unless Darren or Tim can get through and get some pace going, I think he should be on to have a good little win here if he can just keep it clean. As I said, he came through the field in the first heat despite a lot of incidents around him. He managed to come through and take a very solid 4th spot from literally the back of the field. So I reckon he'll be on here to have a possible win here. If he can just get a nice clean start, keep the pace going, keep his nose out of trouble, he should be on to get a nice little heat win here to get his campaign really rolling tonight. Out he goes out of turn 4 once again. Really good run from Josh Harm, and he's already gone in the lead of this race. It's going to be Tim Harris and Darren Permitter behind, though, to watch in this battle for P2. Callaghan just behind them as they go into turn 3 and 4. Or Callaghan trying the low line, but again, not really working. Although, to be fair, he didn't do too bad there. Held on well, and he might just be able to get Tim Harris anyways. Trying the low line here, and I think he may just get Tim, although Tim does the switchback. And look at that, awesome run from Tim, and he's got 3rd back. He may well get 2nd here. And
it's just a big battle. This first is gone again. It's a battle for 2nd. There's 3, maybe a 4-car battle here. They're 2-3 wide through turn 1 and 2. There's Permitter, Harris, and Callaghan are just going as hard as they can. Micklemore's just behind there. He's trying to have a sniff, but Bob King on the inside of Micklemore tries to get it done. He's still on the inside there through turn 1 they come. He's going to do the slide job on him. Could he get it completed? Yes, he does. Sort of a single file behind him. No, it's not a Holbo and thrower. Oh, there goes thrower. Burton has to go behind his teammate. Holbo's behind there. She's trying to have a sniff.
Yeah, there you go. And you've also just seen Callaghan's spot to Bob King, who he said to watch. He's already up to P4 and eyeing up maybe a podium in this heat as we're looking at second and third now. Permitter and Harris going at it. Harris, bad run. And look at that. Bob King is right there from the back of the field. He might well have a chance of getting a podium here in Heat 4 and really stamping a spot in the finals for tonight. Going the low line, he might make it work, will he? Oh, not a bad run at all. And he's got the run now into turn 1 and 2. Slide job, it is indeed. Oh, just about contact.
A big slide job that is, but
yeah.
Harris is going to try and get the run on him into 3. Do the same thing he did. Yes, he will. Slide job him. Getting close to contact, but King might get the run. Oh, well, that's close. And I think...
That's it.
Yep, I think that could have been Bob in 3rd place, but...
Oh, it's a photo
it'll be Josh Harmon first, Permuter in 2nd, and King, I'm going to have a good say, will be in 3rd place after that heat.
Yeah, I'm just looking back on the ultra slow-mo, although the results will be put up so I can tell from that. But I think you're right. I think Bob just... Oh, man, that is quite literally by maybe like 10 centimetres on Tim Harris there. Great run from those two. Really good battle to round off that heat. But yeah, it's going to be a win for Josh Harm. Pretty nice cruise. He sort of raced for him in the end. Got the jump at the start and on the restart. And was able to keep the pace going and get a very nice win for him. P2, Darren Permitter will be happy with that after having a bit of a difficult first heat. He'll be good to bounce back on that one. We think it's Bob King. We'll get confirmation in a second as the results are put up, but I'm pretty sure you're right there. It should be Bob King in 3rd, and then Tim Harris, followed by Callaghan, Dean Thrower, I think. Let me just have a look as they cross the line. Actually, no, it wasn't Dean Thrower. It was Josh Mickamore, followed by Dean Thrower, Jake Maloney, and I think it'll be Brendan Hobson. Yep, Brendan Hobson and Jake Burton round out your field for... There you go, so, King officially 3rd. So yeah, that was a good heat again. Once again, just the one caution at the start, but some really nice racing there as during the green flag run.
Yeah, it was only had that one caution, but it did us all well because the rest of that heat was amazing, and that finish it gave us for 3rd, it might be a step up to what will be in the next 2 heats coming up, and we've got heat 5 coming out onto the track right now, the grid will be Cameron Holleran 1st, Emily Jones 2nd, John Silks 3rd, Tim Ryan, Lewis Stewart, Lachlan Smith, Kurt Stenberg, Joel Berkeley, Adam Staffen, and Jock Goodyear will be the grid for Heat 5, as Sammy Van Gisbergen should be starting 2nd, but has not arrived, sadly, and I think it'll be too late to get a spot into the final now, so as they're all on the back straight now, starting to line themselves up here.
Indeed, so a bit of a shame there for the Giz, but either way, we're still going to have an awesome little heat here, I think, of racing with Hollow once again, another one who looking for a bit of redemption, getting involved as an innocent bystander in Anson in Heat 2, so we'll be looking to get a nice run here and get a nice solid result. At the very least, try and make it the B main and try and get into the A main final that way. But he'll lead them off, as you mentioned. Emily Jones there in 2nd. Be interesting to see how she goes here at the front end of the field, a bit clear of the dramas in the midfield potentially. We'll see. But once again, they're all pretty even actually in this field. Lewis Hewitt's pace in the time trial was quite good though, so I think he might be one to watch, starting pretty much bang in the midfield. Tim Ryan, once again, as we saw in the early Heat 2, big one to watch to have a good result here, especially starting P3, a lot more towards the front. So I'm going to be watching him to maybe come through, and a chance for an ART 1-2. If Cameron can hold on to the lead and Tim can clear Emily, there might well be a chance of an ART 1-2, which I'm sure they would very much like in this 5th heat of the night.
Yeah, and also as well, you don't need to forget, but you do have Jock Goodyear. He's in the race on Oscar. He did win that first heat. That's why he's starting dead last. So you could see him make his way up through the grid as we come down the back straight here, rolling around to start off Heat 5, the second last heat of tonight before we get into the dash and the B and A mains.
Indeed. So as we get ready to go here in this heat, and we are away again. The leader once again getting a jump, and Tim Ryan, getting it there And there's contact already, and I think it might be a caution potentially. It will be. Yeah, it will be indeed. Oh, Emily nearly going to the back of Cameron there, as there was a bit of confusion over the caution call. But yeah, it was John Schultz, unfortunately. Just got a bit of a whack there off the line. And once again, Tim Ryan just got a big wheel spin out of the final corner. I think he was kind of half trying to dodge Emily as well. And unfortunately comes straight down to John. He's been ploughed into the wall, heavy contact, and that's his race over in this 5th heat. So it will be Cameron to lead us off once again. Emily Jones in P2, and I think it's going to be Lewis Hewitt in P3. I think actually, yeah. So Tim Ryan will be at the back now because obviously he got involved in an instant. I believe that's how the cautions work in Dirt Oval. If you're involved in an instant with contact and you survive it, I think you have to go to the back regardless. So because he was having that contact with John, he's had to go to the back of the pack. So that's going to make it a bit of a difficult run for Tim. He was on to possibly get a good result here, but now he's got to do all the work from right at the back of the field.
Yep, and now we are green after the first caution. And down towards the back of the pack, it'll be the ERT car and Hewitt. Hewitt's now in 2nd place there. He's still battling there with Jones. Jones trying to do the slide job on him, but couldn't do it. And now she's back down the field, and the 4th place is behind them. They're still 2 by 2. Jones. Oh. See, that's a good battle pack up front, but Tim Ryan's made his way up through the pack. Now there's 3 wide through turns 3 and 4. Jones has fallen back a lot. But
indeed. I guess
but up front, Tim Ryan, a little bit of tap there by Jones. He's making his way up as well. And well, it's just now it's a conga line. Tim Ryan's still on the inside. Ryan trying to get the move done on Jones.
Only one running the low line, as you can see. Everyone else has gone higher, but Tim just keeps persisting with the low line. He's trying to make it work. He's now gone higher. He's got a gap to go to. Ooh, Emily, I'm not quite expecting Tim to go high, but he's got a good run. Might have a shot at getting past Jock here into T1 and 2. Oh, someone there, Kenneth Stenberg diving in down the inside. Not able to make anything work, but it's looking very, very nice for Cameron Holler here to get a nice, good run here. He's got a good gap and lead. All he's got to do is just keep his nose clean, and that's going to be a win for him as Lewis Hewitt continues in behind him in P2 again. Good run from him. Lachlan Smith going along well in 3rd, but he's got Joel Burkle, as it is said, thanks to someone in the stream there correcting me on that one. Joel Burkle looking to try and get a podium here, but look at that. Cameron Holler is absolutely gone. He's waved Holler goodbye to the rest of the field. So,
and Lewis Hewitt there doing a little bit of a slide down the back straight into 3 and 4, and Joel Burkle on the inside burn there trying to get 3rd place at the last minute.
Try and get some style points, I think. Try and get some air time there over the inside berm. But either way, I believe that is the race. So there you go. Cameron comes away as your victor here in Heat 5. Again, a very nice, clean run from him. A bit of a trend of the leader of the race so far. Wonder if we'll see that continue on through to the finals. Lewis Hewitt gets the there. Good run from him with Lachlan Smith in P4. Joel Burkle getting into P4. Good result from him in this heat, and I believe it is Tim Ryan. No, it'll be Jock Goodyear just beats Tim Ryan to that position, and then we had Emily Jones, and I believe Kurt Stenberg, I believe he actually retired, so I'm guessing either had an instant or pulled over. So that is your field for heat number 5. So a win for Cameron, who retired in the first running of this field in heat number 2. So he'll be happy to get some redemption, I think, and get a win in the second run.
Yeah, now we've got heat 6. Cars will be the drivers will be preparing themselves to get on into the cars and onto the back straight to grid themselves up. But heat 5 was very interesting, but Jones doesn't really like the dirt stuff at the moment because she dropped back from 2nd all the way down to what was nearly last. So she wants to, if she wants to try and get to the A main, she's got to improve. But wow,
yeah. As I mentioned, it's a case I think as well, being the dirt oval racing. It's such a different sort of skill set I think that's required compared to sort of road racing or even road oval racing style of racing. So it's a very different kettle of fish. So it tends to, as we know, there's plenty of guys out there who are very, very quick on the dirt, and I think that is showing potentially a bit here with some guys who we see in other classes being just running away or right at the front of the field, having to battle very hard here to go for the wins and even podiums in these heats. So it kind of shows the the skill sets required for dirt oval racing. It's such a precise form of racing as well, especially as I said, once the track starts gripping up like it has, it just makes it really interesting because you've got to really start to get a bit of track knowledge, I suppose, and understand how the cars react to a very slick track and where you can make the moves and where you can't on a track that is always changing as each heat goes by.
Yeah, and now we got our heat 6 guys up on the back straight now. So it'll be Madison Downs starting on pole by Brendon Schultz starting second, Erin Kelly third, followed by Michael Millhouse, Craig Dunn, Carl Hoff, Jared Philsell, Cam Dance, Dylan Charmin, Jordan Charge, Ryan Harris, and Daniel Gow rounding off the grid.
Yeah, indeed. So should be a interesting heat, I think. Should be again hopefully a nice close battle or close fought race. Madison down in the hot seat for this one. He'll be hoping to get a good result, really, as we saw. Wasn't able to really pick his way through the field in that earlier heat, so this time around he's in the prime spot on track to get a good result. So it'll be interesting to see if he can convert that to a result at the end of this race. But again, a lot of quick guys in this one. Carl Hoffman's is one to possibly watch. Craig Dunn was also quite quick in the time trial. Yeah, camera dance as well. Phil Sell, Charge, as Jay was just mentioning there, he had a very good pace in the first heat, or in the first running of this heat, so we wanted to watch. Same with Charmin as well. He was a P2 in the early heat. Basically, it is almost literally a reverse grid of the pretty much. Yeah, stacked heat from the last running of it. It's pretty much almost an exact reverse grid of the results, because the results stay pretty static really from the starting grid in the last heat. So it should have a bit of a accordion effect here as everyone comes together with a few fast guys at the back and some of the slow guys maybe at the front. This should be a very hard fought heat here for the final heat of tonight.
Yeah, now let's see if they'll go this time by. Yes, they will. There goes Down, and he goes off and gets sort of a better jump on Schultz. Behind them, they're 2-3 wide. Not as great as they were the last heats. Ooh, Charlton Dunn getting close, and there goes Dance. Oh, Kelly just chopping his nose off a bit too much. Too wide. Maybe 3 wide into one. No, they are. So 3 wide. Now they're 4 wide through turn 2. They're going to sort themselves out. Yes. No, they won't. They're in the wall.
Yeah, Hoffman's, and I think who else is that?
Hoffman and Dunn, I believe, are in the wall, and I think that's a caution.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, so saw that probably coming a little bit. Everyone kind of clashing a bit there, coming together as the lap was going on. I mean, we had 4 wide out of 2, and it looks like Dunn got a really nice run out of 2, and you can see there, wasn't quite ready for the pace that Hoffman had coming out of the second corner. Yeah, it looks like Hoffman just got a bit loose on the slippery side or slippery groove of the track, and then just maybe came up a little bit into Craig's path, and that's kind of what led to that little incident. As I said, these grooves, they are so slippery, and it's so easy to either lose it completely or really lose a lot of time out of the corner. There's just no grip because the dirt has been washed away as the cars have gone on it. So that's why we're seeing obviously the highline effect. As I said already, we haven't even got to the B main yet, let alone the A main. It's really interesting to see as well the dual lines. So we've got dual slippery lines at the moment. One extreme low and actually one pretty much in the middle. So I wouldn't be surprised if we almost possibly see just an entirely slippery track come the A main, and we just see what is basically like driving these things on an ice rink in that A main final.
Yeah, don't forget that A main final is 35 laps. It's always been a bigger race than what any of these races have been. So these guys doing 8 laps in the heats, and then what I believe is a 6-lap dash, and for the guys as well in the B main, they'll be doing a bit more laps than any of the other guys tonight. Yep, B main is 15 laps, so it's all about getting as much data as you can in these last heats to try and think, okay, I've got to affect my way of driving by this much to get the perfect line in this slippery stuff. As I think we're just about to come around to start off again to get the green flag. Guess we will. There goes Down, and he's checked up. Charge has got taken by surprise. As now Daniel Gow is going to get in that, but Fuel Cell, Harris and Dance just behind. They're all nearly getting into each other. Now we're all single file conga line as Gow trying the inside line there. Not really going to work at all.
Yeah, he's making it work alright. I mean, if anyone can make it work, it'd probably be Gow, as we saw one of the quickest qualifier in the time trials is just ahead of him. Jordan Charge, he's on the charge for a move on Erin Kelly, and I think he might just about get done the old slide job out of 4, but Kelly's got the switch back into 1 and 2, but I think, is he going to do it? They're going to do the same thing again, this time Charge, and the inside, the side by side out of 4, nearly contact, but I think the Charge has got it done, although Kelly is going to get another good run, is he? Gets on the slippery side, and I think Charge, no, he doesn't have it, because once again, it's going to be a slide job from Kelly, and these two are just toing and throwing for the podium position, which is laying down, and Schultz get away.
Oh, and that's a big one. Charge.
The dance as well.
Charge and Kelly rolling.
Yeah, Kelly just got wrecked in that one. He got hit by about 3 cars as they kept coming into him. And we'll see what that was there. It looked like another case of the slippery stuff there for... Oh, actually, no, I think it was Kelly. Yeah, Kelly got a bit of a slide out of 4. Oh, and they just touched. And that was enough to send them around. Looked like there might have been a bit of net code possibly involved as well. And that sent both of them into the wall. And then Kelly just hit by Fuel Cell and Dance. Wow, got absolutely drilled by them. And ended up on his roof, so that is race over for him. And there you go. So I think we'll probably have 1 or 2 laps to go, I would think, in this race when we go back to green flag running. And leading it all is Madison Down. Despite all the instants behind, Down has kept it clean, kept a strong head, and is looking like he is possibly on for getting a win here. If he can get, again, a nice clean jump, which has been the case so far for the leader of the pack, keep that run going, then he'll be getting a heat win here, which should be great redemption for him after his heat 3 result.
Yeah, and also talking about Dance there a little tiny bit, he absolutely sort of sent it on his teammate on Harris through turn 1. I think was the lap before the wreck happened, and he got it done cleanly, slide job and all. So see what he does here to Fuel Cell as we're just about to go green again for what might be next time by. Yeah, it will be. So
yeah, just shorting. I think Jordan Charge here, they're just trying to sort out where he is in the field. So once they sort that, I think they'll be good to go. And I was just about to say, I think he'll be at the back because he was involved in that incident. And if you're involved in an incident with contact, I believe you automatically go to the back of the pack. So he'll be right at the back here for what should be, I think, about a 1 or 2 lap dash. We've got 7 cars left in this one, so a bit of a high attrition one in this final heat for the night before we go into the dashes for the top 8 for the 6 lap dash. As Madison Down now coming around the final corner, going low as well to start, which is an interesting call. Not sure how that's going to go on the slippery stuff, but let's find out, as he'll just about go. And there he goes out of the last corner, and he has got a good jump once again.
And it's Dance taking the beautiful opportunity by Fuel Cell there behind. And now he's made himself at the top 5. Fuel Cell now, Harris are both getting into it, but up front, Gow and if I can get my cameras right, Gow and Schultz. Gow's got him. Schultz trying to get back on him as well. He'll try the slide job. Gow covered him a tiny bit on the slide job. Behind them is Charmin having a look at this second place battle. Ooh.
That's it. Yeah.
And that is it. So Gow, just about 1 more lap, and I think Charmin might have had him, but it'll be Down, Gow, and Schultz finishing off the top 3 there. Might get the rest of the finishes from Tom.
Yeah, indeed. I'm just look on the replay now. So we are Down with the win. Again, as we said, the leader seems to be the way. You get the early jump and then you just keep the nose clean while everyone else battles. And you can get away with some lovely paces throughout the whole race. So Down once again showing that being at the front seems to be the key, as admin there just telling the drivers what to do here as we head towards the dash now before we get into the B main and the A main final. But Down winning that one from Daniel Gow, as we said, great drive from him to come through from towards the back to get that second spot. Brendon Schultz rounding out your podium in 3rd with Dylan Charmin, another one towards the back, getting a good result there in P4, followed by Cameron Downs in 5th, Jared Fuel Cell in 6th, and Jordan Charge rounds out your field in 7th. A bit of a disappointing run from him in what could have been a potentially even podium had he not been involved in that incident earlier on. But such is racing and such as oval dirt racing, I suppose. So just having the cars sorted, I believe now. So the admin just getting all the cars properly sorted out now before we go into the dash 6-lap race for the top 8 before we head into the A main and the B main final. So should be absolute cracker. I believe the top probably this will be for getting into the A main this as well, this dash. So it should be a very, very nice little run, I think. This one, especially being the top 6 as well, or top 8, sorry, as well. It should be a very close fought one, I would say. So yeah, very keen for this one, Corey. As I guess Corey, we'll get your little thoughts here. We'll get your thoughts from the heats, and then we'll probably head to a break. So yeah, Corey, what were your thoughts on that one? I think had a lot of fun with that one. There's some awesome racing throughout those heats. A few incidents as well, but some awesome racing as well.
Oh well, it's been an awesome night. Like I said, like we all said at the start, it'd be crazy bonkers racing, and it's showing. That last heat was a little bit tame, but we've still got a dash. The top 8, and then we got B main, which will be crazy as hell. That'll be setting up your grid for the A main, which it'll be crazy. It'll be 35 laps of mayhem.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. So crazy bonkers racing. I think it's something that we should put into force for nearly everything, really, especially dirt oval though here at Bates Online. But I hope you guys have been enjoying this show so far. We're going to go a quick break now before we get into the dash and the finals here tonight at the Knoxville Nationals, hosted by Race on Oz Events, brought to you by Down Under Graphics. Be back soon.
Hi guys, Scott Speed here, welcoming you to the Volkswagen Beetle GRC car here in iRacing. It is so fun. Wanted to give you guys some pointers around the track here. This is the actual track that we drove in Daytona. It looks unbelievable. When you see the footage from the onboard of the actual track, it's crazy how similar they got it. Give you some tips on the car. First thing you're gonna notice is this thing is a 2-liter turbo engine that has over 600 horsepower. And it is geared for acceleration. So you're gonna go through the gearbox very quickly. That's the first thing you know. As soon as you leave the pits, you're gonna be like, wow. You're just gonna have to upshift gears very rapidly. And then you're gonna get on the brakes for the first time and you're gonna notice this big momentum shift. The car is gonna lean over, it's gonna have a ton of weight transfer, and that's because we run really soft springs in this thing to get the traction that you're gonna need in the dirt. Once you get through the first corner, you're probably going to realize that as soon as you touch the throttle, it doesn't really want to turn anymore. You've got to be aware that four-wheel drive likes to stop very quickly and it likes to go very quickly. It doesn't like the corner so much. To the first corner, you definitely want to wait until you're kind of straight to get on the gas, and that'll bring you up to the really fun section. And you get to experience dirt in a four-wheel drive rally car for the first time, and it's incredible. The thing you're going to notice is that the car wants to just continue going in whatever direction it started in. So when you approach these corners, you're really going to have to turn quite before the corner, very early, and the car is going to develop this momentum to it. It's still very important to hit the apex and to be very tidy and clean, but you're going to have to do that with the momentum of the car. And then you got this nice jump that is really fun. One thing to keep in mind when you're in the air is if you hit the brakes, the front end will come down. If you hit the gas, the front end will come up a little bit. So you got to control, kind of like an airplane, the pitch of the car in the air so you're kind of flying straight. And as soon as you land here, you're going to want to start heading left. You're going to give it a big input and start it sliding to the left. And you're just going to be constantly trying to slow this thing down to make this corner, because it's very, very slippery and it's a very tight corner. And the preferred line, believe it or not, is still going to be right here at the apex. Once you get out of here, the next couple corners are relatively simple, typical tarmac corners. Not a lot to these stuff. This is all flat out. And yeah, let's see what a full lap looks like.
Welcome back to the Knoxville Nationals here, brought to you here on V8s Online, brought to you by Down Under Graphics, hosted by Race on Oz Events. And it's been a cracking evening of racing so far. I've had the 6 heats that have been run and done, and we're now looking into the dash, which will be a top 8 6-lap race to decide the top 8 grid order in the A main race. We have an interview though. We have Mr. Brenton Hobson here in the booth. Hello, Brenton.
Hey, how's it going?
Yeah, good. Just well, been trying to sort of keep track of everything, I suppose, with the racing that's been going on. It's looked pretty full on from what we've seen, especially that first heat. How's it, your view?
The first heat was pretty good. There wasn't much to see. That was all right. Everything else has been a bit chaotic, but I think it's been putting on the track. It's been putting on traditional Knoxville style racing. You got the super fast top side, and a few guys been able to stick it around the bottom. So, plenty of opportunities to pass, throw some sliders, all that good stuff. So yeah, it's good fun. I'm really loving it.
Yeah, good to hear. Yeah, and that's something that I've been mentioning throughout with the way dirt, obviously over racing works, with the track getting slipperier and slipperier on the preferred line. I mean, how's that been to deal with throughout the heats, especially between the time trial and your heats? I mean, how has it been adjusting to the track and the changing lines down low?
Yeah, well, that's just a part of dirt racing, really. You have to adjust to the track when it changes, and I was a little surprised. I was a late time trialer. and then in the first heat. But I found even in the first heat, I stuck it on the bottom and it got a bit slick and had to move up the track a little bit. So it changes quick. You've got to be on top of it, and it doesn't take much to get it wrong enough to be way off the pace. So to find that sweet spot's pretty tough, and you got to search around and see what the other guys are doing and try and find the right line around the track. But it's a challenge that that's part of dirt racing. That's what makes it as challenging as it is. You don't just go around and cut the same lap every single time like you do on a road course. You got to adapt to the conditions.
For sure,
So-
yeah. And sorry, you go, Corey.
No, I'd like to butt in, but first of all, Nick, we'll give you a nickname. We'll give you 6th place, but I think you've broken that 6th place curse tonight.
I doubt that I'll be in 6th place at the end.
Well, hopefully you're not. But second of all, that heat 4, is that giving you a good learning curve as to what's going to be expected in the next 2 races? Maybe the A main if you make it there.
Well, every time that you hit the track, you learn something new. This is actually my first time on the track at Knoxville around other cars, so you learn a lot quickly. Every lap that you do, it all goes in the knowledge bank, and it's really hard to know. It depends who you're racing around. I had a really good run there with Burton in the second heat, lots of sliders and side-by-side stuff, and it builds your confidence, and you learn what does work and doesn't work and that sort of stuff. And the track's only going to get worse as the night goes on, so by the time the end of the B is finished, it's going to be completely different again. And then, by the time you get to the end of A, it'll be really different again. So, the top line's going to get really thin and slick, and you'll be right up on the fence with the right rear to find some grip, or you'll be running around the middle, or I think you'll probably find a few guys actually find some grip through the middle as well. So, you learn a lot every time you hit the track, but the good guys on dirt will be the guys who can just move the car around and find what's fast during the race as they're going.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, that was something I was thinking. I mean, do you think by the A main we're going to have nearly an entirely slick track pretty much all the way up the way it's going?
You will. If it runs the way that Knoxville would normally run in real life, you'll probably find that there'll be a little bit of something on the bottom. It won't go super, super slick around the very inside of the berm, but it's really tough to get down on there with the left-hand side tyres and get a good drive off it because it's already slick for the right rear. But it'll probably stay fairly similar on the bottom. It'll go away a little more, but where you'll really see it is that sort of 3/4 track line that's really good at the minute, that's going to go, and the guys at the top will be like literally at the top. It'll be slick all the way through, and it'll get to a point where the bottom's too hard to hit slow. You'll be really checking up at the corner to stay on the bottom, and that'll be really hard to do. And then, you'll find guys getting too close to the fence at the top and then finding that too hard to do. So, it depends on everyone's setup, but there will be guys probably running through the middle on the slick, and that might be the fastest way around for some guys.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I guess as you say, it just shows the evolution of the tracks in dirt oval racing. So I guess to round off for you, I mean, looking into the finals in the B main, what are you thinking it'll be? I guess with the more cars on track, a slicker track, you expecting to be a bit of bit of carnage in there.
I think that there probably will be, because there'll be guys deep in the field that are trying to move forward, and the way that the format works, you miss your quali lap like I did, you bury yourself, or you have a DNF in one of the heats and you bury yourself. So I think there'll be guys back towards the tail of the B that are actually pretty fast, and you're going to see a bit of desperation. Only 6 go through, so the guys who are quick will be forcing moves and trying to get to the front, because that's just how it is. And I wouldn't be surprised if there's a bit of carnage that comes from that, but from my point of view, I want to make sure the car's set nice and find the line that works for me, and just hope that I can move forward and throw a few big sliders and put on a good show. But best case scenario for me, make the main. We'll see how we go. I think we're gonna have to try and transfer in from probably fairly deep in the B, so it's going to be a tough ask. But if you get the setup right, you can do it.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Again, thank you very much for coming in, Brenton. Good luck in the B main.
Yeah, no worries. Good luck with the rest of the broadcast. Chat to you later.
Thank you very much.
Man.
Yeah, we'll do. See ya. And I think we have another one waiting in interview. It's our fellow V8's online staffer and commentator, Mr. Cameron Dance. How you going, Cam? Oh, may have got him. Oh, there he is. There you go. Hey, Cam, how you going?
Yeah, I'm actually doing quite well. It's actually been quite an interesting night, to be fairly honest, with all sorts going on. But yeah, it's actually been going quite well so far.
Yeah, I mean, I guess for you, I mean, the would have been in that last heat when you had a car fly right in front of you and had a little bit of contact, I suppose, would have sort of been the peak of the interesting, I assume, for you.
Yeah, definitely. That was definitely quite an interesting moment, to be fairly honest. It was a bit of a brown pants moment, but managed to luckily get away with that one. So I'll happily take that. And after that restart, it was actually quite good because it gave me that upper hand in getting into the AMA, which it sounds like I've made. So I'm pretty stoked with that.
Yeah, awesome stuff. Yeah, and I guess, to the similar questioning or line of thought to what we were looking at with Brendon there. I mean, seeing the track evolve, I mean, how's that made it for you throughout the heats, having to judge or having to deal with, the low line looking very slick already, and the middle even and up to 3/4 getting quite slick at the moment. We haven't got to B and A yet.
Yeah, it was quite interesting. In the first heat, I kind of struggled as far as getting the car to be quick enough. I think I ran a little bit too much wing on the car, so that lacked a bit of straight line speed, but managed to crank it back, and it seemed to have worked quite well in the second heat. So guess we'll go from here at this stage. It's looking pretty slick, and it's going to get even slicker at the end of the night. So probably just make a few adjustments to tighten the car up, and from there we should be good.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and I guess looking at Knoxville itself, I mean, obviously new track in the iRacing roster. I mean, yeah, what are your thoughts on the track? Is it a dirt oval that you particularly enjoy?
Yeah, it's an absolute awesome track. I mean, I've watched plenty of World of Outlaw races in the past around Knoxville, and also driven it before in previous PlayStation games, that sort of thing. So, yeah, it's it's an actually awesome track, and to finally seen it on this come to the service, it's absolutely awesome.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, I got to ask a question. I asked Tobbo this as well about the way you guys are racing and all that. Did the 3 heats that you've done? Well, actually, yeah, the 2 races you did before, because you've basically qualified straight up to the A main. Is that giving you a bit of a learning, experience, thinking, okay, this is he's going to do this is going to happen, and also with the track getting looser and looser during the night, maybe even be more loose and more slicker than what it was previously. Is that sort of possibly maybe scaring you in a bit of, yes, if I can get my words out, basically, is it hyping? Is it going to hype you up for the A main to go even faster than you have been, or?
Not actually sure on that one. It kind of does get your nerves a little bit up, seeing as the track's got less and less grip near the end. So you kind of have to look at it and go, okay, what possibly could I do to try and make the car handle the way I want it to handle? So yeah, it kind of is better if you've got the car hooked up. But yeah, we'll have to see what happens.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's as we said, the evolution of dirt racing. It's always very interesting to see who can handle it, well, and who struggles with it a bit more. I guess as well, has it been a bit of an interesting experience for you seeing the difference in performance almost? With some of the guys who we know in other series maybe not so dominant here on dirt, and other names who are sort of dirt specialists. It's been interesting seeing this sort of mix of driver on track for you.
Yeah, absolutely. It's been very, very fascinating, especially when qualifying came around and all the TTR guys were up the pointy end. It was a bit of a head scratcher, all going, this doesn't seem normal, but yeah, it's good to see all the guys from the roadside, from TTR and all those sort of guys coming over and having a bit of a go at throwing it sideways and getting a bit down and dirty. But yeah, it's definitely been quite interesting to see the transition that all the guys have done from the roadside and actually adapted quite well to it.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's definitely made for a interesting night of racing for sure. So again, thank you for coming in, Cam, and good luck for you in the A main. Awesome job so far.
Yeah, cheers, no worries. So hope you guys enjoy the A main.
Oh, I'm sure we will. The rate it's going, Cam. It's been awesome fun so far. So again, thank you very much for coming in, and we'll talk to you later on.
Yeah, thanks. Cheers.
Yeah, no worries. So that was Cameron Dance in the booth there, having a chat with us there into the A main. So he's not having to do the B main. He's straight in, not in the top 6, so not doing the little dash here to sort the top end of the field, but in the A main regardless. So he's straight through in the midfield there of the A main, and we'll be looking forward to that one. And as we said, it's going to be really interesting for him. I think for the guys in that midfield who don't need to do this dash, it's going to be, and the B main, it's going to be really interesting for them because the track's going to be a lot different to how it is now for them once the A main does roll around. So we've got the guys now, the top 8, sorry, who will be sorting essentially the grid for the A main here. It's a 6-lap dash for this little event. And as someone in the game chat just said, it pretty much is TTL versus Race on Oz with one ERT car being Tim Ryan. But otherwise, it's TTL versus Race on Oz here in this little dash.
Yeah, we've really got a lot of. Well, really, it's the whole grid is TTL versus Race on Oz with the ERT car of Tim Ryan there, just stuck it there for entertainment. But very interesting because where they finish in this dash will go. So basically, you finish first here, it'll be you start on pole in the A main, but there'll be a big gap between what is now and Gao is gone. Harris there getting a little bit of a bad start, worse than what he would have liked, and Tim Ryan down the inside.
Big crash, yeah, at the back of the field. Bob King and Jake Maloney just in the wall. Bob got really bit of a slide job there from Maloney. It looks like he got on the slick stuff there in the middle of the track, just pushed up, and and Charmin around as well. There you go. So it's continued on. But yeah, Bob King is out of this one. He's in the pits already, and that's his race done. I think Goody is actually done as well. So there you go. Charmin is still going. And we've got a replay on the screen now. Cup Race Racing replay. And yes, there you go. So it's Tim Ryan and Dylan Charmin. It looks like, Charmin's just checked up a bit out of the last corner, and then that's let the Jock Goodyear's got nowhere to go. Hit into Charmin, and that sent them both round into the wall, and Goodyear's retired. Charmin's kept going, but he's going to have some heavy front end damage to that sprint car. And there you go. So a bit of a drama-filled start to this one, as Charmin now gets himself back in the order. And we're back live now, and we're going to have 6 cars now in this field. So we've already lost 2. We're down to 6 now. As Charmin as well. I think we'll probably go green the next time around. But yeah, Charmin's car, worse for wear, as you can see. No front end on that thing, so it'll be interesting to see how that handles here on this restart, where we should have about probably 4 or 5 laps to go. This little sprint to decide the top 8. We've already got 7th and 8th sorted with retirements. It's just a question of what the top 6 will be at the end of this one.
That front row is Race on Oz TTL again, the way it was before, but Harris might get a better start knowing now how much grip he doesn't have on the outside line compared to what Daniel Gao has on the inside, but I believe we go this time. I think we are, maybe. Yes, we will. Yep. There goes Gao, and he's got a better start than what he did before. And teammate Hewitt behind him, followed.
Yeah, Charmin nearly went as well there. He nearly spun it out of turn 1, or into turn 1, managed to keep it going. Tim Ryan trying to go down low. Tim Harris, but I think Harris might hold. No, Ryan's still in it. He's making the work. And it looks like ahead of him there, Lewis Hewitt's seen Tim Ryan using it to effect and tried to use it as well. As Tim Ryan still not quite there. Harris still holding on the high line as they're still battling side by side for P3 here. What will be P3 on the grid for the A main. A bit of a slide job there from Ryan. Harris has got a really nice front out of 2. Nearly touching the wall there as well. He's tried to go down low, but Tim Ryan's gone, no thank you, you are not doing that.
And now they've caught right up to Gao here. Ryan's still on the bottom.
Here we go. Ryan.
Nearly got the slide job on Hewitt.
Not quite though, so it's going to be Hewitt still. He's the only one going higher of the top few, but Gao is really struggling here. I think he's trying to make the low line work, but it's not really working for him as they come to turn 1.
And now there's 3 wide. Ryan nearly got Hewitt there.
They're still
2 wide. They're wheel to wheel down the back straight through 3 and 4.
I think Gao might just have it. He's got the run, and I think Gao is just going to have it over the line. Are they nearly done? I think we lap to go in this race. And
Gao nearly got into the wall there. Hewitt's right behind him. And Ryan's still on the bottom. He's going to try and get him.
Here we go around the top. I think Gao's done it though.
Hewitt!
Bit of contact. And that's it. I think Gao's got it just from Lewis Hewitt. That was an awesome battle at the front and gives you a bit of a taste, I think, of what to expect when we come to the A main later on. But Gao gets the win. It's going to be from Lewis Hewitt in second. Tim Ryan gets third there in the RT car, followed by Tim Harris. Jake Maloney is going to be fifth, and then it will be Dylan Charmin who will round up 6th in this race. And on the grid in the A main, 2 retirees, Jock Goodyear and Bob King, will be 7th and 8th in the A main. So there you go. So that is the dash complete, as we now will be prepping for the B main. It will be, I believe, a 15 lap race with the top 6 going through to the A main. So going to be an interesting race. Bottom 20 in the field, so we'll see how this goes. More cars on track, more possibilities for incidents. So as we were talking with Brendon about before, there's always a bit more of a possibility of some carnage in this race, but fingers crossed we have a nice clean run and we can decide the A main grid and finalise it for the 35 lap Down Under Graphics Australian Knoxville Nationals final that we will have at the end of the night.
Yeah, and you got to, and also with this B main as well, it's a 15 lap race, so it's longer than any of the heats or dash tonight. So the top 6 that do make it to the A main, they'll have a lot of more laps in them. They'll know the track more than what the guys going straight to the A main or from the dash will know. So it could be the guys from the back ending up to the A main, but we've still got 15 laps of racing until we hit the A main, and I think we're still sorting out the grid.
Yep, looks like they're just trying to sort out where everybody is placed. And hopefully we can get a little run down the grid for you once they do that, and they set off on their run and on the B main finals. So first of the finals here today, and I think they do have the grid here, so I can go through it for you. So it's going to be Lachlan Smith leading them off from Jordan Charge, who will be second on the grid for this B main. For SSR, Dean Thrower will be third with Josh Mickelmore in fourth. Madison Down fifth with Brendon Schultz in sixth. Jared Philsell and Emily Jones 7th and 8th, locking out the fourth row there with Brendan Hobson in 9th, right in the midfield. Jake Burton will be 10th with Kurt Stenberg 11th. Darren Pamita in 12th with John Schultz in 13th. Craig Dunn 14th. Carl Hoffman 15th. Erin Kelly 16th. Pegley 17th. Stanton 18th. And then Millhouse rounds out your field in 19th. So it'll be a 19-car field here for this B final. 15 laps of this Knoxville circuit. And yeah, Corey, I think this will be a lot of very close race cars down on track. So could be a very, very juicy proposition we have here.
Yeah, it's going to be the biggest grid we'll see all night before the A main, but 19 cars, 15 laps. It's going to be, I think an overused quote of tonight, but crazy bonkers racing.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Agreed. I think that should be the slogan for Dirt Oval. Just crazy bonkers. I think it's a nice. I think that's a good saying for the 410s alone, because 410s are bonkers as they are. Much.
So.
Yep. But I think we're getting ready to go. Yeah. As we have Lachlan Smith at the head of the field. I think we are going this time by, or next time by? It looks like next time by. So next time by we'll be going green here for the B main final. I'm just trying to think who I'm picking here. Well, Jordan Charge has had a lot of charging pace here tonight, and I think being at the front row will help him have some nice clean air, so I think he'll be one to watch. Throwers look pretty promising. He hasn't been involved in incidents tonight. Yeah, and top 6, as we said before, transferred to the A main final, so that'll be what the goal will be here. It doesn't matter if you win it, really. It's just if you're in that top 6, although the win will, of course, put you higher up the field in the A main. But just getting the top 6 will be the goal for the drivers here in the B main final. About to go green here for 15 laps around this Knoxville circuit. And we are go Lachlan Smith again, getting the jump from the lead. The trend continues as they go into turn 1. The battle for third and beyond. Look at that in the midfield. They're nearly 4 wide there in the midfield. And there was a bit of contact, I think, between Stenberg and Hobson. Oh, more contact further up. I think that was Josh Mickelmore getting a bit checked up out of 2 as they come out of turn 3 and 4. And they're 3 wide.
They're 4 wide nearly. And no, they've got the wall.
Oh, hello. Oh, no.
Combo, and then they're still going up in the mid-pack. Oh, some of them maybe got to recover, but that'll be a caution. Yeah, they're still spinning out.
Yeah, I think that's Burton, is it? Yeah, Jake Burton, yeah. Got hit by, I believe it may have been Jared Philsell, yeah. Came down and a bit of contact, just a bit of a hip and shoulder there on Burton as they slowed down for the caution. But yeah, there you go. A bit of a, as we thought, very action-packed start to that B main, and there will be 14 to go when we go green. Cheers to James Rice there, the server letting us know of the laps to run. Yeah, I'm just trying to find now. Trying to find out who crashed. It looks like, I think I'm just getting it now. I think it was Brendon Schultz, by the looks of it, was the one who crashed. Yeah, the number 093 machine. Contact with Mickelmore, by the looks of it. Yeah, to 4. Mickelmore just a little twitch to the left, and Brandon's right there. Yeah, okay, we've got Jay. Yeah, Jay just mentioned he had to roll at the rear as well, but all that main that kicked off from Brandon there, he came back on over the berm there. Unfortunately, in that scenario, I mean, once you come back on like that, it's, you know, he's recovering from a spin, and it's always so difficult in those scenarios to try and keep it out of everyone's way. And unfortunately, that kind of checked everybody up and caused a bit of the issues that was going on. Back live now, as we will be getting ready to go green. Not sure who the roll was at the back, but either way, it will be Lachlan Smith who will lead us off once again for the restart. 14 to go here in the B main final.
The field's starting a little bit of gaps between 3rd and 4th there, but look pretty even. So we'll get around in the last corner. And on the low line there is Smith. One to go.
One more, yep.
Yep.
So should be an interesting restart though. So I think Jordan will be one to watch. Madison down as well. He's actually showing some really good pace and consistency. It looks like that consistency and cleanliness that we know him for in the V8s is transferring here to the dirt. Fuel cell's in a good spot as well, so is Emily Jones. They're right on the cusp of getting into the AMA at the moment. But Dean Thrower actually started 3rd, down to I think about 7th or 8th right now, so not a very good start for him.
No, he's just... it's the seed at B main, you know, first lap, field's been mixed around, but we're getting around now to start it off again with 14 laps to go. Smith and Charge will be your first 2, and we are green again.
Yeah, Lachlan once again getting a jump.
Mid-pack not as crazy as it was, but hold on.
Oh yeah, 3 wide back there with Dean. I think that might be, might be down. Burton as well. Oh, they're still going on, but nearly losing it from there. Managing to hold it together, but he has lost out. Thrower's going to go around the outside.
And Stenberg in the fence and stuck, I think.
Oh, there you go. Wow. So Stenny out of it. Yeah, he's gone back to the garage. So that's Stenberg's night over here tonight. Let's have a look at what happened. He's gone out wide out of 4, and it looks like he may have had a good help from Craig Dunn by looks of it. As wow. Yeah, Craig and him have just come together there out of the last corner. It looks like Craig, he's got the good run, and ahead of him, Kurt's sort of been backed up a bit. And, yeah, a bit of a clashing of lines. And again, as you can see, you can just see how fine that line is. It's so thin already. You know, they barely have enough room there to fit 2 wide without going on the shiny stuff. And that was the problem. Craig was trying to avoid the shiny stuff, and Kurt just squeezed me a bit too close to it, and that's sort of how that all came about. So, you know, it just kind of shows how this is at the moment with that shiny side, or the shiny sides of the track just getting more and more prominent. It just makes it so much more difficult to keep it clean and not have those incidents, you know, with the evolving track around them as well. 13 to go apparently after this restart, so slowly ticking by. Of course, laps don't tick by under caution. Laps are frozen. Just as a little FYI, as we probably should have mentioned earlier, but get that out now for the A main final. But yeah, Lachlan Smith and Jordan Charge and Madison Down, they've really all been in the clear, haven't they? In the top 3, they've just been keeping their noses clean while everything else behind is all kicked off.
Yeah, they've been keeping it clean, just trying to find the line they want to be on for this. And if they do make it to the A main, they've got to do another 35 laps on top. So top 6, it'll be sort of a dirt endurance race for them, doing nearly 100 laps tonight. So.
Yeah. Yeah, as we're going green already, so Lachlan leads them off. As Jay mentioned, we'll be focusing on around P6. Remember, the top 6 make it to the A main final, so that's the key here as we go back to green flag racing once again. 13 to go as they come around now. It's going to be Lachlan still leading them off. He's got a nice little gap already, but again, we can see that key position. Emily Jones and Jared Philsold are in the box seat to make it to the final. Look at that, Brendon Schultz is right there, working the high line, trying to find a way past Jared Philsold. This, as we said, is the last spot in to the A main final, so it's all to play for here in this battle for 6th spot.
Well, it's going to be it's a 3-car battle for that 6th place position. Is Schultz is now in there.
Yeah.
And Jones could maybe go up a position.
Oh no! Oh, Jones on low.
She saved it.
The style points right there from Jones. She's a lot of positions there. As someone behind her in the wall as well. Just it looks like and it's giving someone in front of her a bit of a bump as well. It's Erin Kelly, so I think she got a bit caught on the slippery stuff there, and that's now demoted her out of the top 6. That now puts Brendon Schultz into the 6 as Jared Filsell going for the low line there to get the move done on Mickelmore. It looks like he might have just, but Mickelmore comes back. They're nearly contact down the straight, but they managed to get through, and I think Mickelmore will do it. No, once again, Filsell back the other way.
Oh no! There's the 3 of Josh Mickelmore, and that would be his night done.
Oh, geez, and he gets a bit of a swipe there from one of the guys at the back as they come through. So there we go, drama here in the B main final. That was the battle for P4 into the A main, and Mickelmore unfortunately contact there with Filsell, and that's him out. Oh wow, yeah, just no wonder he went into the wall so violently there. You can see the change of speed. Looks like Mickelmore trying to hold the high line there, just checked up a bit in speed and was quite slow coming out. And Jared's really got a lovely run, and just a bit of a clashing of lines once again with the way the track here at Knoxville goes. And that's ended Josh's night, and as we see at the end, got pretty heftily sideswiped by one of the cars at the end there as they were coming around. So it's Josh's night over there. A bit of a shame for him as he was looking on to make it to the A main, the rate he was going, but that now means that your last position in the top 6 is actually now by Dean Thrower out of all this. That now means that Hobson as well is only one position outside of making it into the A main final, and right behind him, Erin Kelly as well will be eyeing up a shot at it too. So it's such a up and down game, isn't it, Corey? With these incidents, it can all change in an instant as we'll have 8 to go after this caution.
Yeah, you see that Filsell had a bit of contact there and caused the wreck, meaning he goes to the back. We'll have 1 to go before the green, but Hobson has got, basically those 2 cautions have gifted him what is going to be a chance of finishing in his least favourite position, but making it into the 35 lapper at the end of the night. But also behind Hobson there, you got Erin Kelly and Emily Jones. She's made her way back up, but she's got to do some more work to get back in that top 6. So it's really got to focus on that top 6, and also guys that have been making their way up, slowly but surely. And Hobbo is one of those guys that have. So we're going to come around turn 4 and start us off again for the 3rd time tonight for the B main. And he is gone. The back of the field, they're about 2 wide. They're still trying to sort themselves out. They will now into turn 1.
Yeah, and again, and Hobson has got the spot. He's got Dean already into turn 1, so Hobbo in the box seat now on P6, but look at that, the high line again. Dean Thrower round the outside. Hobbo's still there though, he's making it work, putting up the fight. And actually, this Jake
Kelly's in the wall. Kelly's in the wall, he's got Joe.
A spin behind, yeah.
And that's going to be another caution.
Yeah, there you go, yeah. They're still going though up front, so they haven't called it yet by looks of it. Might be waiting to see if they can sort themselves out. Oh, no caution. This Adam Stanton down the back. And it looks like they are still going, so no caution called. I don't think there has been, no, so they're still going. So Lachlan still leading the way from Jordan Charge. Brendon Schultz in P3. It's Madison down 4, but look at that battle for P5. One of those guys in those 3 won't make it through the A main as Jake Burton and Dean Thrower. They're teammates at TTR, remember, and they're having a bit of a hip and shoulder there down the main straight. That's sort of compromised Burton through 1 and 2.
And they're 3 wide down into turn 3.
Burton.
Hobbo's up high. He's going to get both no.
No.
Both of those TTR guys and Hobbo. Oh.
Wow. I think, are they calling a caution? They are. There you go. So what that will do, though, is I'm pretty sure that will mean Thrower. No, sorry, Burton. Yeah, I think Burton will get put to the back because he came back on there. And again, it's one of those cases where once you're on that apron there, it's so hard to slow these things down quickly without speeding them because they're just not designed to brake suddenly. As you can see, actually, he got on the apron, so he was on the low line, just caught the apron, and then on the slidey stuff, trying to hold it together, and unfortunately that caused him to go up into Hobbo and also spin Dean Thrower as well. So bit of a double whammy for TTR there. It's going to probably send Burton to the back, although Thrower was able to continue, so he should be able to stay in the top 6. But once again, and it's interesting, out of all this, Filsell should be, I think, 1 position out of the 6 again. So it just shows how absolutely bonkers these races are with the cautions. You can be at the back, and if you just keep your nose clean, you can suddenly be right towards the front again in a matter of laps.
Yeah, and well, actually, Filsell is 2 spots away from that transfer position, because in between him and that transfer position is John Schultz, and then also in the transfer position is Dean Thrower. So he's got to basically throw out. They've got to throw out either Hobson or they're going to throw out a teammate for him to get into the into the A main.
Yeah, indeed. It's going to be a fascinating restart here. As we said, Dean Thrower is now the last guy in the 6. John Schultz is just outside, as is Jared Filsell, and I think we are going green this time. We are indeed. Lachlan gets the jump, and not quite as big as we've seen earlier in the night, but still a good jump.
And Thrower just nearly thrown his race away, hit the wall then.
Yeah.
Right behind him.
Behind. Oh, I think Wayne Peggerly nearly spinning it. Keeps it going, though, so he keeps going. And it's again that battle. The P6 is the key at the moment. It's between, once again, 3 cars, and Jared Filsell's riding it once again on the low side. By
Filsell's just getting together, but they keep it going.
Yeah.
And right behind them is Kelly, so he wants to sniff in this battle. Oh, loose a tiny bit.
Oh, Schultz nearly in the wall as well. It's going to possibly give the 2 behind a chance.
Oh,
what's that? Charge. Does charge. He's pulled over. What's happened there? He's just pulled over. Oh, no. Charge had a fuel by the looks of it. So his race is done. So that's one of the top 6 out again. So once again, it's changing. Lachlan Smith still leads. Brendon Schultz is actually challenging for the lead here. Jordan's gone, and I completely understand. I'd be raging too, but I think there might actually be a race over, is it? Or nearly. The top 2 are still going, but I think that's race over. It is, yeah. So Lachlan Smith is going to make it into the final in the lead, and it's going to be, by the looks of it, Brendon Schultz, P2. Then we had, I believe it was Madison Down, P3. And then we had Hobbo did manage to get through in the end despite all of that. Gets through in P4. Then it was Thrower in P5. And then Schultz rounds out your top 6, meaning that Filsell and Kelly just miss out on making the final lot. And in fact, they were the last finishers. Only 8 cars finished that race. That was the attrition rate of that B main final. So, wow. I'm out of breath, Corey. I don't know what to say. Crazy bonkers, I think. Crazy bonkers.
Yeah,
racing.
crazy bonkers. So, and I think that might set it up for an A main that's going to be crazy.
Mm. Yeah, and as Joe's mentioning there, I was thinking that as well, especially with the A main, with it being 35 laps. You know, they're quite a long race in these machines, and you do actually have to watch that you don't run out of fuel if there's a lot of cautions, because you know, these cars they do take, I think, about 113 or so litres with a full tank, but they are, as I've said before, they're designed to be going full bang around a dirt oval. So the fuel economy is not really much of a concern if you want to try and just get raw power. So they really chew the fuel in these races. So as Jay mentioned, it's a good point, or has mentioned to us, is that they will have to watch in the A main. This is a bit of a high attrition caution fest. Then they really will have to start saving fuel and probably clutching a lot under caution, because otherwise they may not make it on fuel to the end. So it should make for another layer to the A main to watch out for, even though we're going to be watching about 1,000 different layers as it is.
Yep.
Yeah, indeed. So I think we're just waiting now to the A main, aren't we? I think we have a little break, I would assume, until we get to the A main. So yeah, I'll tell you, I'm keen for this, Corey. I'm super keen for this A main. Should be, if anything to go by for these heats and that B main, it's going to be as we say, crazy bonkers. Gonna keep pushing that crazy bonkers race.
Yeah, it's gonna be crazy bonkers, and I do believe that it's going to be just under the 20 car limit, if I can count myself. Would be 20 cars in
20
the
cars
A
should
main.
be, yeah. So so we'll go. We can actually give you the grid for the A main now. So I guess while we've got a little bit of a lull in the action. So Daniel Gow will be on pole for the A main with Lewis Hewitt alongside Tim Ryan, the 2 Tims, Tim Ryan and Tim Harris, 3rd and 4th on the grid. Then Jake Maloney, who's been doing very well tonight. Again, another driver we know from V8 Scops, does very well on the V8s, also doing very well here on dirt in P5. Dylan Charmin, P6, and it's going to be Bob King and Jock Goodyear are the top 8 from the dash before, and then the guys who made it through from the heat results: Cameron Holler, Ryan Harris, Tom Callaghan, Joel Berkeley, as we've now been informed it is. We're going to stick with that for now. Cameron Dance and Josh Harm, your next ones, and then the 6 that made it through just then for the B main, it was Lachlan Smith, Brendon Schultz, Madison Down, Brendan Hobson, Dean Thrower, and John Schultz rounds out your 20-car field for the A main final. It's going to be a absolute cracker of a race, and because of the way this has been set up, we will have timing in the broadcast for this last race, because it will be a 35-lapped race in the session, so we'll have timing up, which will be awesome for the A main final. So even more reason to get around it here and look forward to what should be an absolute cracker of a final. I mean, every one of the guys who've made it through are very, very talented steerers in these dirt 410 cars. So, I mean, as we've seen, I mean, just because you're at the back doesn't mean you're out of it. So if you just keep your nose clean, you can find yourself up the front in no time. So, yeah, this is going to be one to watch, I think. Corey, I'm not sure what to expect. Really, I just don't know going to this one.
I'm not sure what to expect either, so we'll wait and let them sort each other out, and I think we might be going on a break.
Yeah, I think we'll probably have another break before we head towards the A main final. We'll have got a bit of time that we'll have to wait on the session to tick over before we can move on to the final race of tonight. So I think it would be a good time now that we have a little bit of a break with Jay's discretion, and give our voices a little bit of a rest and calm ourselves down, I guess. Again, bring ourselves down a bit, just so we don't lose our minds, halfway through the A main race. So again, hope you guys have enjoyed the stream so far. We have the big finale of the Knoxville Nationals, the A main final, 35 laps in the 410 sprint cars. Again, hosted by Race on Oz Events, brought to you by Down Under Graphics. So we'll have a short break now, and we'll be back with you in just a bit. V8's online here for the Knoxville Nationals, and right on cue, as the fireworks go off, we're getting ready to go for the A main final here and off tonight's racing. Once again, brought to you by Down Under Graphics, hosted by Race on Oz Events. I'm too excited to even speak right now, Corey. This is going to be an absolutely, as we've said throughout the whole night, crazy bonkers A main final.
It's crazy bonkers racing, and it will deliver what it will deliver, because at the moment we have 20 cars in the A main, 35 laps, fireworks going off. It's basically the prelude to what will be the most exciting race we might see so far this year.
There you go, yeah, good big call from Corey, but I can't say it's too wrong with the way the racing has been going. Very loud right now. Yes, we've got the cars going around, the fireworks going off. It sounds like a lot of noise going off in my ears right now, but either way, it'll be Daniel Gow, as you mentioned, they're heading off the field, followed by Lewis Hewitt. So ERT getting a front row slot actually with they're getting a second row slot with Tim Ryan, so I'll be happy with that one. But should be, and there's the gas coming in, should be a absolutely fascinating race, I believe, without actually going green yet. I think we've got to actually sort the grid properly, I believe. I've been to believe. Yeah, so there you go. So green flag flying, we're not going yet. There'll be another caution flown now, and then we'll sort the grid properly for the race itself. So a little bit of messing around, but that's just to make sure we don't have laps under caution counted. So with this fashion, or with this style, the admins can manually track the laps, so we don't have laps counted under caution, as it should be here with the way obviously dirt racing works. So grid is being sorted now. Daniel Gow obviously to lead them off. Lewis Hewitt in P2, and then the two Tims, the Tim Combo, Tim Ryan, Tim Harris, not the same team though. The other thing you gotta remember, ERT and TTR. So nearly right. If they were the same team, it'd be perfect, but not quite. But either way, it's the variety is very impressive in this field. But I don't know if we're going just yet. I don't think we are. I think we're still getting the grid sorted towards the back of the field. Yeah, another caution that will be thrown by the admins soon. Once the grid, I believe, is sorted, and then after that it'll be green flag running, and I think that's just as well to obviously try and even up the start so that the leader doesn't get too much of an advantage, with having to decide when to go. But it's just impossible to pick here as well, Corey. I'm not really sure who to pick in this one, because as we said, I mean, everyone here in the A main has shown that they can do really solid quick pace in these races, so I'm not really sure who to pick here.
Well, we're all just waiting for the actual green flag, but it's you know, the way the track is now from when we had it in qualifying. A lot of the guys that I think maybe some of the guys that did qualify down the order or qualified near the start of the I think Tim Ryan, Bob King, they're one of the guys that they qualified early on. They qualified, you know, one of the first qualifiers out there during the time trial, and they basically had the most gripped up track they can, and now they've gone through a lot of laps, you know, 2 heats and the dash, and now they're in the A main. The track is very, very slick. It's going to be 35 laps of what have we said? Crazy bonkers race. So as we now sort ourselves out.
Yep. So caution has been thrown. So now that they're in caution thrown, the cars will obviously proceed under iRacing's caution system, and once this comes to an end, we will go green for 35 laps of racing here for the A main final finale for tonight's racing. And as we mentioned, we've already had plenty of action, crashes, all sorts going on, and should be a absolute cracker of a last race to bring us home. 35 laps here in these cars, and as we mentioned before the break, remembering fuel as well, these cars not designed to be fuel economical, they're designed to be fast on the dirt in a circle, so you know, they're not very fuel efficient at all, so they burn the fuel a lot. So even with a full tank, they're going to be pushing the limit if it is a caution heavy 35 laps. So you know, we'll see how this goes. It could be a bit of an interesting one for them, but if it is, you know, if it does drag on and the race does go on for a while, then you might see a lot of clutching under safety car as people try and save the fuel and try and get to the end of the race. So Yeah, I'm not sure who to. Really, I'm not sure who to pick. Daniel Gale has been very impressive up the front, but we've seen Tim Ryan, Tim Harris, Lewis Hewitt as well have been very impressive. Dylan Charmin's another one that I think probably could be a little further up than he should be. Same with Bob King, who of course had the incident in the dash that's put him further back the field than he probably should be by his pace. And then another one, Ryan E.B. Harris is another one who's been impressive. I mean, there's plenty of guys here who have shown really good pace and really good racecraft throughout this race. So I don't know if we're going green just yet. Nope, the safety car lights are still on, so going green just yet, but getting ready to go and get this A-main final underway.
Well, that top 10, it's a top 10 full of ERT, Rosenholz, and TTL. So you sort of got the experts in dirt up there in the top 10, but you know you also can't forget the likes of Lachlan Smith, Brendon Schultz, and Madison Bound just behind that. Basically, the experts in dirt, and they've been doing well. They've been doing all right. They've made their ways up there, and then you got Hobson behind that whole pack. He's starting from all the way back in 18th place. Just made it into the A main, so he could work himself off here. And as the pace car goes off, and we are green flag for the A main. 35 laps underway.
Yeah,
and we're already going 3, maybe 4 wide at the turn 1.
Yeah.
Someone's slow. I think that is. He's going to come back
more
on the track.
contact.
And we keep it together. We're all contacting. It's a contact snake down the field, and we keep it together.
Lewis Hewitt is what it was. He got a really bad start off the line, got caught by Tim Ryan. I think it was a bit of contact, and he basically snaked his way all the way down the field. He's right in the mid-pack, buried down the field. There's more contact here. Bob King again in the wars. He's had a really troubled night. He's kept it going though. He hit the wall, kept going, no problem. And he's towards the back, but he is still going as they keep going along now. Try to get in the groove. They're nearly 3 or 4 wide further back, so a little bit of a cautious time for everybody here. If there's things that are going to happen like big crashes, now's the time. There's Bob King more contact further back in the field.
Bob King's A-main hasn't gone to what he wanted, but that battle for what is 5th or 6th places, nearly half of that battle is full of TTL cars. It's crazy the amount of TTL cars we have here tonight, and have made their way up into that top bit into that top half of the field. Is a little bit of contact there for Smith. He gets just in front of King, but cut it all the way down there for King.
Yeah, we've got a good battle as well further up for P3. It's Charmin and Tim Harris right now. Tim Ryan's also involved in this battle, as looks like Charmin trying to work the low line on these two, but I don't know if it's going to work. Sort of the low middle line, but it's not going too badly. He's finding some decent grip down there, and he's actually keeping Tim Harris honest here on the high line in this battle for the podium. Just behind him, Cameron Dance in P5. Cam having a great run so far. And you got Jock Goodyear behind them, and then a bit of a scuffle further back for Holler, Berkeley, Hewitt, and Ryan E.B. Harris in that midfield battle there.
Yeah, that midfield, it's a sort of a 3-4 car battle for 7th place at the moment with Holler, Berkeley, Hewitt, Harris, but you go towards the further back of the field. Oh, is King and Schultz just get together a tiny bit there?
Oh, more contact.
Turn 1, there's Smith.
Yep.
And there's the caution thrown.
Yep, and looks like I'll see if I can find out what happened there. Yeah, look at that. Oh wow, it was Harm and maybe Harris coming together. It's probably the first incident. Good at keeping out of trouble and keeping it clean over the night, but just got into the side of Ryan there. Looks like just a bit of a clash of lines, and unfortunately, probably Lachlan's come barreling into that. And unfortunately, Ryan's just tried to correct it, got back going again. That's kind of led right into the path of Lachlan, and Lachlan's gone flying into the wall. Heavy damage there, and that's his race over in that car, which is a bit of a shame. He was one of the guys who got through from the B main, so he's over. I think he's the first retirement in this A main final. That's the field now behind the caution. We'll calm down again, get ready to go. Top 3 I think hasn't changed actually. I think they're pretty much the same. I think Tim Ryan's probably the only one to change, going up the field a bit, but it's Gow, Ryan, Harris, Charmin, Cameron Dance having a very nice run in P5, Jock Goodyear, and then Joel Berkeley, Lewis Hewitt, who's trying to recover after the little bit of a tail happy, I suppose, start for him at the start of this race. Cameron Holler, Brendon Schultz, Ryan E.B. Harris, Bob King now buried in the midfield, and it's Harm, Hobson, Maloney, John Schultz, Madison Down, Tom Galligan, and Dean Thrower round out your what is now 19 car field in this A main final.
and they've only done 7 or 8 laps, so, and we've got 35, so, you know, we've got less than 30 laps to go. We've still got, what, 25, around about 25 lap mark to go, as we're now starting to double line up.
Yeah, lights are out on the pace car, so we'll be going green this time.
If I can get my words correct, but still a lot of TTL cars up, and that nearly that whole inside row is full of TTL cars.
Yeah, as we get ready to go now. Daniel
Watch for
Gowd will lead them off.
And there goes Gal again, and we're green flag again for the second time.
Harris got a good run there.
Hobson there behind Maloney.
Oh. Yeah, so just the changing lines, it always is close, especially when the track is as slippery as it is now. It's very, very difficult out there for these drivers, but they're keeping on the straight and narrow for now. And Tim Ryan leads, new lead change there. Tim Ryan's managed to get his way past. Daniel Gale got a beautiful jump off the restart, and he now leads through.
But now Gale's going to set slide job in here. Oh, nearly contact.
I think he's got it though. Although Ryan's again.
And they've got three TTL cars and a race and Oz car behind them. And
contact!
2 as Hewitt and Gukier.
They kept going. Oh, someone else has spun. John Schultz, and that'll be a caution. There we go. Come on. Jake Maloney having a bit of an extended spin there on the back straight. Let me have a look what actually happened to him there. Unfortunately, he just nowhere to go there when John spun, and on his side there briefly, and I think he has called it there. Obviously, pretty heavy damage. And that's another retirement in this AMA, and I think we're now down to 18 runners. And what a fascinating race it's been so far. A little bit of contact here and there, but I mean, as we've said, you know, with the track getting as slippery as it is, this is the kind of stuff that can happen. It's so difficult to just keep the car straight at pace, let alone try to do it while you're battling other guys and you're trying to, you know, keep it and not make contact basically with other cars while the track is so slippery. I mean, you can see on the track there's not really any part of it that isn't slippery at this point, apart from, you know, right at the very, very top of the track. Other than that, pretty much everywhere else has got some slippery stuff on it and has got not much grip at all. So, there you go. So Jock Goodyear has got a penalty for causing incident in that, in that shenanigans. So I think he will drop to the back, although I think he already wasn't he? He's at the back now, so he's gone to the back of the pack with that penalty. We'll have 24 to run in this race now after we go back to green flag running. So that's some good green flag runs, a couple of cautions, but considering, as I said, how the track has been evolving and how much more difficult it is to drive now than it was at the start of the night, you know, I think it's been some pretty good racing here, as I believe the lights on the safety car are out. I'll just confirm that now. Yep, they are. So we'll be going green once again at the end of this lap, and it should be a nice little battle at the front we got going here with Ryan and Gow. They're both similarly paced. It's all going to basically be down to who gets the jump here off the restart.
So it'll be an ERT race on Oz front row, followed by 2 full rows of TTL behind them. Basically, I want to like to call them the orange hot rods here tonight, as Tim Ryan gets off, jumps nearly jumps it. Oh, Gow! Trying to get him. Slows up.
Bit of contact. TTL was getting into each other a bit there for the battle for third. That was Harris and Dance is in there as well.
They're cutting each other off. The 3 wide.
Berkeley and Charmin nearly coming together as they're 4 wide nearly in the mid pack there. Hobson's involved in that as well. Same with Cameron Holler's in there too. But up at the front, Tim Ryan is stretching away in that lead, working that high line to perfection.
And in the back of the pack there, we're nearly 4 wide. Schultz has gone nearly around. Just about collected Goodyear there, but they're still going.
Yeah, indeed, his battle for P2 is quite nice. Tim Harris on the high line. We got a spinner out of the last corner. They've all come together. I think they've kept going though. There's one of the TTL cars behind. There's not Dylan Charmin. Yeah, it was green. Ryan Harris, who had the incident there, but either way, we're still going up the front. The battle for P2 is really heating up. Daniel Gow trying to hold on from Cameron Dance and Tim Harris. Battle for P2 in the race. Dance down low. Nearly contact with Gow there, but great stuff from those two to keep going. But it has left down a bit hung out to dry down low. And I think possibly Harris, look at that up high. Just look at the grip difference compared to down low there.
And they were nearly 4 wide there through turn 4. They're still going at it. They're all.
Look at that.
This is crazy bonkers racing right here. This is at its finest.
Yeah. In that battle is Bob King, by the way. He's still going, despite it being a bit of an up-down evening for him. He is still going. There's also someone in the wall up ahead as well. I think that was Lewis Stewart.
Oh, and behind them, Charmin Charmin and Gucci got together, but they're still going.
God, it's such an up-and-down battle. The way the track is, it's so topsy-turvy in the midfield. This battle is just bonkers here in the midfield. But again, that battle for second still going. Tim Harris on the inside of Daniel Gow. He's going to try the slide job on him, but Gow's going to try and get the exit. Oh, but gets caught on the slippery stuff. That's now let Tim Harris take the second spot. And Josh Harms around, and there's the caution thrown once again, as the field will now calm down again, and we'll go back to it for yet another run. Third caution now of this A main, but not quite as caution pool as I was expecting. I think with the amount of cars, it's been quite good. We had some really close, really insane racing, but it's been really good stuff to see from all the guys. As just looking now at Josh Harm, he's actually helped around by Bob King, came flying in into turn 1 a bit too fast. Probably wasn't expecting the speed that Harm and Hollow were going to go in front of him, and unfortunately turned Harm around, so I wouldn't be surprised if Bob maybe gets a penalty for that. As Hobbo up to 8th in all this, so again, this just shows if you just keep your nose clean, you can really make the gains in these longer races.
Yeah, and also as well towards as you said before, Harm and got spun around by King. King has not really had a good night except for at the start of the night during time trials, top 5, that was good, but just going downhill from there. He made it into the A main, but he could get it, and he does have an end of line penalty, so he'll go straight back to last and hopefully make his way back up for a good result.
Yeah, indeed. Another one who's come through by Dean Throwers, another one who's been slowly crawling his way forward towards the back of the field. Tom Callaghan's another one who good stuff there. Joel Berkeley's also been going along well. Lewis Stewart's on the recovery trail, going pretty well for him, and a couple of guys in there. I mean, Brendon Schultz has been doing really well. He's been right in the thick of the battling, but he's kept his nose clean and is actually sitting P5 at the moment, so a really strong showing from him. And he'll be hoping to keep that going as we get ready to go green. Probably going to be something like, I would guess, around 14, 15 laps to go, so we're probably just about on halfway through this A main final as the car's ready to go. Who's going to get the jump? It's going to be the Tim duo at the front, Tim Ryan or Tim Harris. Who's it going to be?
Not a lot of TTL cars in the top 10 that waddle off on the last caution. We come out of turn 4 and we are green again. Ryan gets the jump on Harris, and Gow's already on the bottom trying to get a position. Oh, he's actually lost one, maybe 2. He'll lose two out of turn 2, but try and get him back. Slide job on Dance.
Oh! And Berkeley down low is working Hobson as well behind him. They go through turn 1 and 2. I think Berkeley's. Oh, they're still side by side. Hobbo should just about do it as the slippery stuff sort of catches Berkeley out. He's actually vulnerable to Callaghan now. Behind them. Who's that? Dylan Shepherd? No, yeah, John Goodyear's just in the fence there on the outside. But either way, up front, Tim Ryan just streaking away a little bit.
Oh, and there goes Hobbo. He's lost the rear, but he's kept it going. He's lost all those positions, sadly.
Still going, though, so that's the main thing. He'll still keep in this battle with Goodyear and Charmin.
And Hobbo and Goodyear just got together, and that'll cause another caution. No.
Still green, yeah, we're still green. Yeah, there you go, so no caution called. So it's still going to be green flag running here. Tim Ryan, though, look at this. Tim Harris has been coming at him. And now we have a proper duel, ERT versus TTR, for the battle for the win.
Goodyear's in the wall again, but they've kept it going. Oh, and there
caution.
It is.
Yep. Oh, yeah, you can see it there, yeah. And I think John Schultz was in the wall as well. Yeah, a bit of an extended incident almost there. We had a few people having a there, and it's finally led to the caution once again. So there you go. So we'll regroup again and try and get a bit of an update on where everyone is in the field. Although one thing I've noticed is that Cameron Dance is third now on the podium.
Yeah, he's on the podium, and Bob King has been given another end of line penalty. So we and
Hobbo in the pits. So I'm guessing he's got some pretty hefty damage from. There you go, so contact with Jock Goodyear's the cause of that, so we'd assume that is his not done, unfortunately. for him, although he might be trying to get damage repairs, possibly. He might be trying to get the repairs and go back out, which, I mean, credit to Olbo if he can do that and get a finish out of it, but either way, he'll be a good couple of laps down probably at this point, which pretty much puts him out of the running at a good result. But either way, I think we should be going green this time. I'll just check once again if the safety car lights are off. No, they're not, so it'll be next time by, I would say, will be green. And once again, it should be the team duo, Tim Ryan and Tim Harris, who will lead them off. It's interesting, it seems Tim Ryan's really good at the starts. He pretty much gets the jump, or he has done nearly every time in the A-main so far, but it was interesting to see towards the end of that green flag run, Tim Harris was right back on his rear bumper, so it'll be an interesting battle at the front, and I'm also noticing, I think we've only got about probably 12 or so guys left in this race, so once again, that attrition rate that always is such a big factor in this dirt oval racing is having a factor here in the A-main.
And talking about the slick line at the start of the night, you know how you were talking about being on that slick stuff is not doing well. Well, nearly the whole track is slicked off, so it might be a one-lane party at the moment, but people are still getting jobs, you know, getting slide jobs done on the inside and holding that inside line, but we've still got some racing left to go, maybe around about 15 or so laps as pace car is off again, and he'll get the run. Oh, Ryan got a little bit of a tap from behind, but still got the jump.
Indeed. Oh, Harris in the wall.
Harris in the wall, but he's going to keep it going.
Oh, the
he's going to lose three spots with that 3 wide.
Oh.
Stanton in the middle. Try and chop someone off, and he's going to keep going.
I think around the outside though. Oh no!
Oh,
big crash.
Oh.
There it is. There's the big one of the night. Oh, there it is. There's always the chance in the A-main you get the big one, and we had it just then. It was just it looks like I've looked back, but I think it was a case of just dance. Oh, just caught on the slippery stuff. It was right in the middle of it, and I think it was one of those things that the car just would not rip for him. And I mean, I'm sure he was doing everything he could to avoid contact, but unfortunately, when you're on that slippery stuff, it is impossible sometimes to get the grip to get the run out of there. Unfortunately, Harris had a really good run, and they went into the wall, heavy contact, and that'll be their night's done, I would say. Possibly Harris might be able to continue. He actually has, although I think Dance is out. He is, so big shame. He gets the end of the line penalty, just add salt to the wound as well, but his night is done. So there you go. Wow. what a race.
Well, the basically 3 TTL cars in the 3-car wreck, but it's still alright. Now Harris has gone from second to dead last, sadly.
Indeed, and actually, I'll just try and count how many left. Got something like about 13, 14 guys, I'd say, left running in this race. So the attrition is starting to kick in a bit. But I've been noticing one. Oh, the positions are right there. Ooh. So yeah, we've got about 16, I think it is, still running in this race. So still actually a good chunk of the field considering that, as we know, 20 cars in any dirt oval race generally can lead to some big crashes. So that one there is probably our biggest we've had all night, really. So credit to the guys, someone in. Harris,
I think Tim Harris might be in and calling it a night, sadly.
Yeah, and that front end looked pretty bumped up, and he did have some heavy contact and rode the wall too. So so I would say that's night over for Tim, unfortunately. Yep, and he's pulled off and called it. So we're gonna have 15 cars left in this race, and again it'll be Tim Ryan, leading them off here. One I've been keeping an eye on actually as well. Where is he? Madison down P11. Just been quietly going along, keeping clear of trouble. And he's still going and may be on for a top 10 if he keeps this up. So it'd be a good result for Madison. But either way, pace car is in again. Tim Ryan will lead them off. There are all sorts of lines there behind him, but he's going to get the run again. Cow will look to go high, will he? No, down low. Who's that? That's Brendon Schultz way down low. Finding some grip too. I think there's a little bit of a gap in the slick stuff where he can get some grip. Although who's that around the outside? Lewis Hewitt all the way around the outside. Beautiful run from him as he was in the wall. That's balked him there and let him vulnerable to the TTL trio behind him as they get into turn 1 again. 3 wide here as they battle over P4. As in the wall again is Lewis Hewitt, just giving them all taps all the way around. Oh, contact with Brandon. They've all kept it going somehow, and they're still going behind again. Who's that? That's Jock Lock Goodyear in the fence as well. Everyone's getting in the fence. TTL
Everyone,
together.
There goes down.
Oh,
talking about down, he's
Oh no. Such a shame. He'd been doing so well, and it's like 2 behind him got together. I think that was Callaghan and Bob King got together and unfortunately kind of gave Madison some rear end contact and just got sent around. There you go. So Callahan apparently had some internet glitching going on there as well. Jay mentioning to us there, so that probably wasn't helping in that instance. So big shame there. Down still going, although probably with some pretty hefty damage you would think to that machine. I'm not sure if anyone actually retired from that. I think everyone managed to keep going. Looks like they did as well. So bit of a shame though. Although Callaghan is going to get a end of the line penalty, although he was there anyway, so it doesn't matter in the end. But we will still have 16 cars running in this race, so good to see that we've got most of the field still running in this one, which you know, again, considering 20 cars around Knoxville with a track as slippery as is, that's good to see most of the field is still out there. At this point in the race, we should have probably something like about 10 to go, I would say, before we get to the end of this one.
Well, what looks down is still going. He's still on the track. He might get going and stay out there and hopefully just get a good result.
In fact, actually, sorry to, but we might only actually have one to go. I think we actually only have 1 or 2 laps to go here, by the looks of it. So either this lap now is the last one, or we got one more after that by the looks of my calculations there, judging from the... Oh wait, no, sorry, cautions. Don't mind me. I forgot about the whole cautions not being counted, but we should still have, yeah, I reckon we'll have about something like 8 or 9 laps to go would be my guess. So still a good little sprint to the end. Hopefully we can have a nice green flag run. That would be nice if we can have a nice finish here with some good intense battling. But as we know, we're at the end of the race, the track's slippery, everyone's vying for position. You know, it's always likely to cause contact. But once again, it will be Tim Ryan leading him off, but Daniel Gow up alongside. Been getting some good jumps lately, so I wouldn't count him out to challenge Tim Ryan here, as I believe we are indeed ready to go green this time.
And we go off straight away. Harris.
Wow. Yeah, Ryan straight away just went. This time not waiting around. He thought, I'll go as soon as the caution is over and the pace car goes in. It's worked wonders for him. Got a lovely jump on Gow. And that's him in the lead. Gow second. Brendon Schultz is third, but we've got a caution again.
Oh, Dean's throwing. Dean's throwing.
Yeah, oh, there's a lot of cars. Yeah, we've got about 3 or 4 cars. Yeah, there's about a whole bunch of cars involved. I'll see if I can... Oh, yeah, it was Bob King. Yeah, he, I think it was... Who's that? Cameron Holler in front of him. Just tagged the wall down the back stretch. Slowed up, and Bob didn't really have anywhere to go, and he's just gone straight into him. And it's all kind of snowballed from there with cars having nowhere to go. So... pretty hefty contacts there, I think, because looks like Dean has called it as well. So we're going to have about, I think we'll only have about 13 cars left. So that crash wiping out a pretty hefty chunk of the field, unfortunately. So we'll go back again, have another run. And what should be, as I said, probably around about something like 6 or 7 laps to go in this A main final. I've been watching slowly coming back again. Josh Harm once again, P7. At the moment, he had the instance earlier on, but back up to P7, looking pretty strong. And Joel Berkeley as well, obviously wasn't as we would probably expect in the time trials, but P5 at the moment in this A main final, been showing his stuff in the race, which is where it counts in these races. Yeah, 11 cars, so just over half. 1 car over half the field left. So, which, as I said, as with dirt racing, as with how it usually goes, with the way the incidents can occur, this does tend to be the case. You tend to have pretty high attrition rates when there's incidents, as well, obviously, because there's not really time to repair the cars. And we'll have 7 laps to go. So there you go. Thank you, Jay, for that one. So 7 lap dash to the end. 11 cars left in this A main final. So hopefully we can get a lovely, good, intense run to the flag. And it will be, once again, Tim Ryan to lead us off. Green this time by. And we'll see if he can get the jump he seems to be getting nearly every time. He keeps varying the start, which of course is the key. You don't want to be too predictable in the starts after cautions on ovals, and Tim doing it pretty well. And we'll see what he does this time. Not going straight away on it, going straight away again. And once again, it's worked pretty well. He's got a lovely jump on Gow, and he'll lead into turn 1 as we should have about 7 to go in this race. Brendon Schultz down low once again. Who's that one? The TTL car is getting a lovely run. Whoa, but into the wall. Dylan Charmin getting... very fast there, getting such a good run. He couldn't keep it out of the wall. He's in the wall again out of turn 4. Oh, this could lead to a crash. Oh, he's up on the wall and he's gone. And that is, yeah, that's a crash, I suppose. That is very interesting. Well, he's trying to get it back. Oh, okay.
That's one way to crash, I'm guessing. So.
Well, there you go. That's, I think,
I think he wrecked out. I would say he wrecked out, but now we have what is the look of half of the field left with 6 laps to go.
I think crazy bonkers. If you want crazy bonkers, Dylan Charmin just getting fired into the fence from the side is showing best right there in crazy bonkers.
Yeah, right there.
That was a great little moment. He just obviously got the foot to the floor, trying to get it back onto its wheels, and the car's just gone. You know what? No, I don't want that. I'm just going to send you into the wall instead. Thank you, no. So, and he was literally one with the wall, with the fence at that point. So, so there you go. You cannot say you have not seen it all tonight. You've seen crashes, you've seen awesome, intense racing, some super fast laps in the time trial and just throughout the races, and now somersaulting 410 cars as well. We can add that to the list. So, so I don't think there's much more we can really add. I think we've pretty much seen it all at this point tonight.
Yeah, well, now I think we'll be having 1 lap to green before we have what will be a 6 or 5 lap dash.
Yep.
No pace car lights are still on.
I'll probably go off now, maybe. Let's have a look. Tim Ryan will lead them off, though, once again. So, same leader again. Despite all this, he's just been keeping his nose clean. Up, lights are still on, so we'll have 1 more pace lap before we go to green. Tim Ryan. And lights around now out. There you go. So, apologies, I was looking at the replay. There you go. Thanks for that, Jay. Yes, pace car laps are out, and Tim Ryan will lead them off once again as they come through turn 2. And it'll be a 10-car field, so we have quite literally half the field left. Small field, but you know, to keep basically to stay alive to this point shows that you're a very good steerer in these dirt cars. So we should have 10 of the finest here tonight to battle it out for the final, which should be about half dozen laps here in this A main final of the Knoxville Nationals. Tim Ryan to lead us off again. Pace car is in, and once again he goes early, and again it's worked wonders. He's got a lovely gap to Gow already, as Charmin, I think that is, looking to get him into turn 1. I think he does a slide job. Schultz there just going back under as well. But Gow is going to... It's Berkeley, sorry. Berkeley in P3. Oh, contact. Oh, Gow just cut him off a little bit there. And Berkeley having a bit of a touch with him. But he holds on to P3 for now. But he does have Schultz there looking to capitalise.
And also behind there, 2x2. They're going off for about 5th place at the moment. The Holler, Goodyear and a Harm. Now it's about for 5th as Hewitt wants
Berkeley,
to go and get a battle.
Berkeley and Gow. Oh, that's
Berkeley,
it.
Gow and Hewitt joins the party.
Bit of possibly interesting little post contact there as well. Poor old John Schultz just being an innocent bystander in that crash, coming along, and they've all kind of Constantined down into him. So it'll be probably rightfully a little bit annoyed with that. He somehow managed to get back onto his wheels, did a bit of a side 360 on his side and back on his wheels. So a bit of style there for John, but there you go. I'm sure we'll get a Cup Price Racing replay of that one, but yeah, I could see that. I was watching that developing, and Berkeley was getting quite feisty there in the battle with Gow, and he's done the slide job on him. But unfortunately, it's come back up, and Gow was still there. And yeah, and that was it. They both drilled into the wall. Poor old, I think that's Lewis Hewitt, had nowhere to go, and then became one with Daniel Gow's car. And then I think John Schultz also got involved in that as well. So I think we've got 3 more that have been ticked off the list. So it literally is a battle of survival here tonight to keep this one alive. And I think we have 8 left. Yeah, we'll have 8 cars left in this one. With one Joel Berkeley at the back looking quite sorry in that car. He's got to end of the line anyway, even though he's there anyway. So just add salt to that wound as well. So I just don't know. I don't know who to pick here. It's been one of those races.
Here's the thing though. We are starting to get into the... And now lights are out on the pace car, but we've got 1 lap to go until we go green. Hopefully for the final time, as a lot of these guys will be running on fumes nearly. So yeah. It's basically now a battle of who was clutching the most during cautions.
And you know it's been a very intensely fought race when field doesn't have a front wing. Yeah. Shows you how closely fought this A main final has been. But either way, Tim Ryan to lead us off here once again. He's been leading every restart nearly since the start, since about the first or second restart. He's been leading them away, getting it right pretty much every time. Will he do it once again? Been waiting, going early, goes early again, and once again has got a lovely jump off the line, and that'll be P1 quite clearly into turn 1 and 2. Behind him though, they're 3 wide as Brendon Schultz, who's been doing very well in the same main final, up into P2. Jock Goodyear, another one who's just silently creeped up. He's in P3 now as there's contact behind between the front wingless cars that are left in this race. Josh Harm battling for P4 with his teammate, with ERT's Cameron Holler, and then around the outside, oi, wing,
And
don't
that's
need a front wing.
Hewitt around the outside is all
Yeah.
Jock in front. It's getting a little bit loose.
That's left him vulnerable. Look at that. Oh, look at the run that Hewitt's got. Look at that. Great run.
I think with no front wing, they're getting the corners faster.
Yeah.
Hewitt has no front wing.
Look behind him. Who's that? Is that Charmin, I think. Berkeley behind him's coming with him as well. He might well still manage to fly from this. But either way, Tim Ryan is up the front and has absolutely dominated really this race. It has been a bit of a caution fest, but while it's been green, he's been doing the job. But look at Brendon Schultz. He senses it, doesn't he? He senses blood in the water, and I think he thinks he has a chance of this win. As they come through the final corner, he should be nearing the end here. Probably a lap or two to go as they cross the line. And I think this might be the last lap now, potentially. Well, no, we got a caution. Caution, there we go. Oh, Jock Goodyear.
Goodyear and Harm is on his side as well.
Oh, yeah, and we got a flying sprint car again. That was Harm, I think, trying to get off the wall. Yep, oi! They're just trying I think the same trick that his teammate did there, just gassing it while on his side, and the car's just going yogi, a little bit of a flip. Nearly worked, though. He nearly got back on his wheels. That nearly worked.
And I actually do think that might be the end of the race.
Yeah, I think it might have been called. It has, yeah. So, yeah, it looks like the cars have gone in the pits. So that's it, I think. We are race done. So a bit of a shame. End it under caution. But that is the end of the race. So I'll go back and try and get an order for us before the caution was called.
And you'll be seeing Tim Ryan doing wheelie donuts at turn 4.
Tim Ryan, though, has been an awesome run from him tonight. Deserving winner, I think, in the class in the A main final. Kept the nose clean, got the restarts right, and he is a victor here tonight for Knoxville Nationals. ERT get the win here in the A main final. A great result for him and for the team. I believe it was Brendon Schultz in P2. Great run from him too. He's a bit of the silent driver tonight, especially in the A main final. Was just hanging around in the top 5, keeping his nose clean, and was there in second at the very end. Awesome drive from Brendon. Really impressed with him there. Jock Goodyear as well. Good recovery considering that until the incident was on a good wave. Of course, had the incident there at the end, which dropped him back. As I'm just actually watching it back now to see it as well. But we'll get the results will be added in the little Google Drive document we have now, and they are being added right now, so I can tell you the results. So it was indeed Tim Ryan to take the win from Brendon Schultz. Then it was Jock Goodyear, was classified in third, so gets a podium there. So great recovery from Jock, considering he had a bit of a topsy-turvy A main there. Lewis Hewitt gets classified in P4. Again, another one of the guys who was a bit up and down throughout that race with various incidents, but still manages to salvage a P4 from that one. Josh Harm getting P5. Good result from him tonight. And that's your top 5 in the A main final. As we'll drag in a interviewee. And I believe it is Tim Ryan, I'm guessing.
How we going, boys?
Yeah, going very, very well, Tim. Again, congratulations on the win. That was as we've been saying, our coin trademark term, TR V8 Online, a pretty crazy bonkers A main final, I would say.
Yeah, it was really tough with the track with how slick it is. I was pretty much doing a slide job through turn 1 and 2 on myself, just to run up onto the cushion on the exit. But yeah, that was probably why there was so many cautions. But a tough race. I'm bloody knackered. I'm sweating more than I would in a real race.
Crazy, yeah. Well, I mean, as we were saying, you look at the end of the track there at the end of the race, and it pretty much literally the entire track outside of the very, very, very inside and the very, very outside was slick. So I can imagine it would have been really slippery in the A main final. I mean, how was it for you throughout the night, adjusting the track, evolving so much from its starting state?
Yeah, absolutely. At the start of the night, it was obviously with your qualifying, you want to run your wing a lot further forward. And then as the night goes on towards when the track gets slicker, you want to move your wing back and, just tighten up the car, because the car becomes really hard to drive as it becomes slick.
For sure, yeah. And, as we saw, there's plenty of competition tonight, but I mean, was it good to see the variety of drivers? Because as we were mentioning throughout the broadcast, you had guys who are known for different fields maybe than dirt racing primarily, but they showed up tonight and put on a good show. Was it a good level of competition for you tonight, do you think?
Yeah, absolutely. It was good to have a lot of the boys from TTR and TTL join from the V8s. And Jake Maloney, he looked like a bit of a seasoned professional in there. He surprised me heaps. He did really well.
For sure, yeah.
I think one of the only move that you would have made during tonight would have been on the most important one would have been on Gow early on in the race to get that race lead. Was it sort of a hard move to do, or was it you had to work for it a little bit to get it?
No, it was pretty easy, to be honest, because as I said, I was doing that slide job line through 1 and 2. So when I went through the slick, happened to be the fastest line.
Yeah, indeed. I mean, it was that, and that was interesting to watch actually, because I noticed that the last race there, the amount of people going low and diving right up to the top end of the track. I mean, really, really interesting to watch. And as you said, I mean, it's interesting to notice at the end, a few guys without front wings were actually going quite quickly, even though they had no front wing. And I guess we were saying before about taking off front wing, it may not have actually been that bad not having a front wing at the end with how slick the track was.
Yeah, exactly right. It would have tightened the car up.
There you go, yes. Accidental tuning on the go. But yeah, again, thank you very much for coming in, Tim. Again, very well done on the win. Awesome drive from you, and congrats to ERT and the team for you guys. But I guess before I let you go, anyone you want to thank here?
Yeah, I'd just like to thank all the boys at ERT and the dirt team, even the roadside, Brenton and Simon for all their faith they have in me. And yeah, just Logitech G, GTI, and Joel Real Time for all their support. Thank you, boys.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Tim. Again, congratulations tonight, and look forward to seeing you next time out on track.
No worries. See you around.
Thank you. See you next time. So that was our winner for tonight, Tim Ryan, number 98, for ERT. Again, awesome drive for him. You know, as we said, just keeping the car on the straight and narrow in that A main was hard enough, let alone taking the win was awesome drive there. And I guess he's been waiting an interview for a while, so I think we should bring him in again. Brendan Schultz was sitting in the interview room for a while now, so hopefully if he's there, and with again Jay's permission, hopefully maybe have a little cheeky interview with Hobbo once again. Hello again, Brenton. Obviously, A-Main didn't quite go the way you wanted, but, still you made it to the A-Main, which, as you were saying, with the position you were in the B-Main, just that alone, I think, is an awesome achievement for you. But, I mean, how was the finals for you there?
Yeah, I copped a bit of a donk on the car in the B there, and it was pretty tough to drive, so I had no expectations after that I was going to get through, so sort of squeezed our way through into the back of the A there. Nice cheeky little transfer. And after that, yeah, the car just came alive in the feature. That was a hell of a lot of fun. This roll in the middle seemed to work after a couple of restarts there and worked our way right up. I don't know where we got to, nearly the top 5, I think. And got a bit out of sorts, made an error, and put myself in the pits for the rest, which is a shame. But I'll tell you what, that was really good fun.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, and we were saying, as I sort of mentioned, came in before. I mean, the track nearly was completely slick there at the end. So, I mean, if you were talking to Tim Ryan just before, and he was saying about how you almost had to do a slide job just normally without actually passing someone to get the best grip. I mean, will you find that yourself in that last one? Although you were saying there the middle was actually still running pretty well in that final.
Yeah, my car wouldn't hit the cushion too good. So I was struggling to run the top, but my main concern was that I was 18th at the start, so I had to just go wherever there wasn't anyone else, basically. So I was sort of sent to the middle, not by choice, and it worked okay. We made heaps of passes there, and one of the restarts we ran the bottom and tucked up behind one of the other cars and passed, I don't know, 6 or 7 cars or something on the top. And sometimes when you're racing dirt, you don't really get to pick where you run. You just run where you have to, and yeah, we found that the middle through the slick of all places worked okay, but I couldn't hit the top. The car, either it was set up or something, but we couldn't run up high on the track. It just wasn't good there. So tough track for sure. Really slick.
I'm guessing as well at the start you were all the way down, pretty much nearly dead last or around that last row of the grid. I'm guessing the first couple of cautions would have scared you a little bit with the wrecks being that far down the grid.
Well, yeah, when you're sort of the last car on the track and there's a wreck, it's in front of you somewhere, and sprint cars are not renowned for their braking capabilities or their evasive manoeuvring. So, it is a risk. Every time there's a caution, someone spears off the track. If they're in front of you, that's it. You're done. You just got to hope that you don't get tagged. But we got lucky this time.
Yeah, it is, as you say, it's a bit of a lottery of dirt oval racing that comes with the turf. But again, awesome running tonight to get through the A-Main and have some good running there. Shame it didn't end quite the way you were probably hoping. But I guess before we let you go, thank any sponsors that you have out there, and we'll let you be on your way, Brendan. But again, thank you for coming in.
Yeah, no worries. That was it was really good fun, and I'll tell you what, we were squaring up a 6th place finish there at one point, and I was worried. But yeah, thanks to the team. You know, the guys, we all have a lot of fun at SSR, and Jordan as well, who jumped in and had a run tonight. He wasn't even going to be able to make it up until just before the race, so he was lucky to even get here, and he was really unlucky to not transfer when I think he ran out of fuel in the B. So yeah, he was really unlucky not to transfer. But yeah, big thanks to him for coming and having a run. And you know, we just enjoy our racing and we don't take things too serious. So yeah, shout out to the team. You know, everyone back at SSR for everything that they do. It means a lot.
Awesome. Thank you very much for coming in, Brendon. And again, hope to see you or in the booth next time, now on track next time, and good luck for future races.
Cheers, mate. See you later.
See you. Thank you very much for coming in. So that was Brenton Hobson, Mr. 88 himself, in for the interview there. So again, thanks for Brenton for coming in. Also Tim for coming in to have the interview there to round off his win. Again, awesome win there for him. For ERC, great for the team and great for him, as I said, just to bring it to the end and actually finish that A main was enough of an achievement, let alone winning it. So awesome stuff there. But that will pretty much wrap us up here tonight for Knoxville Nationals. Again, thank you very much for coming along. Hope you guys enjoyed the show as much as we did. Very professional here. I'm burping everywhere. Just been one of those nights. Just bonkers, as you said, crazy bonkers racing. Hope you guys enjoyed having us for company here tonight, walking you through the action. Big thanks to Corey for jobbing in. I'll get Corey's final thoughts before we go as well. And Jay, of course, doing all the magic work behind the scenes. 3 broadcast left, too, for 2017. 3 more left for V8s Online. We've got tomorrow, we have the Rallycross, I think it's OSR's Rallycross Championship, starting up with, obviously, the release of the Rallycross cars. We'll be broadcasting that. I'm not quite sure yet on a time, but details of that will be out on the Facebook page and all the relevant social medias. At this point, I'm probably going to be joining you again, so you'll have to put up my voice once more. Apologies, maybe. Saturday, we have the Plunk Pain race as well, so tune in for that. Some weekend GT3 action.
And don't forget as well, Saturday nights, it's Saturday night drinks with Jay and Reese, so sadly, I might not make it, but we'll see what happens.
There's never too many. Oh, and Jay
yes.
Oh, Christmas party that day as well. Jay is in for a big one that weekend. But yeah, but we've got to either go big or you don't go at all, But either way, we've got Rallycross tomorrow. We have the Blanc Pains on the weekend, and then the last broadcast of this year will be the second round of the Rallycross Championship, which will be next Thursday, and that will be it for broadcasting for 2017 for V8s Online, before we obviously have a little break for Christmas and New Year's, and then we'll be back next year. We have plenty of broadcast lines up, heaps of series, all the V8s, of course, the official V8s, Rallycross, more dirt oval action, you name it pretty much. We're going to be probably broadcasting next year. Very full book, but we all enjoy it very much, and again, hope you guys enjoy as well. But I guess before we go, Corey, any final thoughts on that? Again, I think crazy bonkers is basically the best way to wrap all that up. But what are final thoughts there?
I do think the words crazy bonkers is one to sum up the racing from the start of the first heat to the final lap of the A main. It was full with entertainment and just crazy. It was the best. It's the best sort of racing that I've seen so far, and also commentated on. But next year you've got a lot of series coming up. You've got the major series, they're going global. You've got Rallycross, you've got official V8, you've got Scops. With Scops, Fuel Cell going in 2-time champion. Anything can happen, and next year is just going to be off its head. So,
and of course, remember as well, LMP1's coming as well, which we're super excited about. And as a few of us have mentioned, 2018 shaping up to be a really big year for sim racing. Really exciting things happening. So, and we'll obviously be covering as much as we can here on V8s Online. So be sure to join us then. But until next time, which will be tomorrow night, probably have me for company again as well at this stage. So I look forward to having you company again tomorrow for Rallycross. OSR Rallycross series should be a bundle of fun. So yeah, again, hope you guys enjoyed tonight's Knoxville Nationals, brought to you by Down Under Graphics, hosted by Race Online Events. I've been Thomas Inns, that's been Corey Ott. Behind the scenes has been Jay Kennedy. Till next time, it is bye for now.